The Chicago Bears had a interesting season. Nobody saw this coming, especially some of the stuff we're gonna talk about today. Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles apparently got a power struggle going on. Who actually calling the shots? We don't know. We're gonna break down some of the info from that. Um, that bullet point for the Chicago Bears. Then we also gonna take a look at some of Ryan Poles' moves in the 3 years, right? I think it's 3 years he been here.
3 years now.
Good moves, bad moves, so moves. We're gonna take a look at everything he's done in his tenure here with the Chicago Bears. Then Caleb Williams is preparing to face the team for the second time in the season for the first time in his career. We're gonna take a look at what goes into that as well. All that and a lot more right after this. Wes, we all saw the press conference after the dude got fired. And when I say dude, I mean Flus. We saw the press conference. Ryan Poles was up there with Kevin Warren, looking sad, like he just, he's he in trouble or something by the principal's office, however you want to phrase it. That's when we started talking about this power struggle, and there's been a lot of reports of some sort of not rift. I don't want to say rift because there is not a rift, but just who calling the shots? Who's hiring a head coach? You know what I mean? Who's making these decisions for this upcoming head coach search we about to be going through? It should be the GM. It should be, but in that press conference, what we all seen, it took them when they asked Kevin Warren clearly who has the last say in deciding who the next head coach would be. And and it took Kevin Warren
as soon as I go live.
It took Kevin Warren some time to answer it, but they pinned him down, and he eventually said, well, he's the GM, so he gonna make that call. But dude, it's obvious. We not dumb. You could have said that from the jump. He didn't say that from the jump. One of the reports I want to look at, Wes, is Bears Wire. They released the article, and they referenced Waddle and Sylvie. ESPN 1000. We all know who they are. He talked about it on air earlier this week, Tuesday. He came out and said, and I'm gonna read it here. I'm gonna read a snippet of it, of the article, and then I want to play a video. Then we could discuss it. But the shit is crazy. So this is what he said. This is Sylvie on ESPN 1000 earlier this week. I think it was Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. He said one of the main reasons that Ryan Poles took the Bears job was because he liked the direct reporting nature to the team owner, the McCaskies. It was very appetizing to him as a general manager to report directly to ownership. There was no buffer in between the two. If he had an issue, he could go right to George McCaskey, right to ownership. He also goes on to say when Kevin Warren was hired, Poles was frustrated with the hiring from the start. He never loved it. It was not a personal thing with Kevin Warren, but it was something that he didn't like, that he went from reporting straight to ownership. Now he has to report to the team president, who reports to the ownership. He was very vocal about that to people he trusted in the building. He also goes on to say Poles may have never took the job to begin with if he known it was going to be like that. Now let's rewind a little bit, because remember, Ryan Poles was about to get on the plane to go to Minnesota and interview for their head general manager position, right? George McCaskey said no. Flew him in for first class, offered him the job on the spot. Don't go to Minnesota. He was going to Minnesota. This is a fact where this is known. Ryan Poles was going to Minnesota. So Ryan Poles was hired. Kevin Warren was not there. We did a full season without Kevin Warren. You know what I mean? So you feel like top dog. I'm directly with ownership. Now next year, a year in, you bring in another dude. Ryan Poles apparently is frustrated with that. You want to comment on that before I play the clip, or you want to wait for I to play the clip and then we can discuss that?
You can play the clip because I got a whole couple of points I want to make.
I want to share this live around too. So, all right, I'm gonna play the clip of Waddle and Sylvie speaking on it. Just touching on basically some of the stuff I just mentioned in the article that I was reading. Here's Waddle and Sylvie speaking on Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles' power struggle.
They allowed Bill Polian, who wouldn't see anything through, run the search too. Like, no, it's always backwards. And like the intel that I got from somebody again, who Ryan Poles would speak to directly and would vent to, when Ryan Poles first got hired, when Ted Phillips was still in place, the direct report was to George. And it wasn't ever clarified to him, hey, when we get a new president, you would then report to the new president. It was, Ryan, your direct report is to me, the owner.
Wouldn't that be weird in itself as well? Because most general managers in most NFL franchises would go to the president before they go to the owners.
Well, and here's the difference. And a lot of people have tried to push back and say, well, wait a minute, Sylvie, wasn't there a president in place? And I'm telling you what Ryan has vocalized to people that he trusts. Ryan has said that he's frustrated because the reason why he liked the Bears opening was because of the direct reporting nature to the owner. And George, we always wanted a president of football operations. We've always wanted a boss above the general manager. George has always said to us, no, that's not how our organization is. The way we do it is the general manager is the top level of football operations. That's where it stops. So whether we call that the president, whether we call that a VP, whether we call that the general manager.
It's a lot. That's a lot. And so it comes down to this: do you trust Sylvie? Like, do you trust the reports that he's hearing? And look, if the shit is true in any way, shape, or form, Poles probably ain't happy right now. You know what I mean? What the article, the clip? What's your thoughts?
Let's just going off that, it's true. That says all true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say, because some of it has to be true. Something about it is true.
Exactly.
Something about it is true. But let's just say it's all true. I could understand why Ryan Poles would be frustrated, thinking that he's coming into kind of a old school trip. Like, we started this football thing. We never really had these, our owner was our, quarterback and general manager and coach.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's how we started. The family ran this team, and that's how it was. We didn't have these job openings, right? So I can understand why he could assume that that's, what he was getting himself into. But for me, it's like they say when you assume, right? So we, that whole thing.
Yeah. Make an ass out of you and me.
Right. And the thing is, what we've been screaming for the past, plus way before even the Super Bowl win was that the Bears, we need to get up with the times. We need to evolve in this football thing. We can't keep doing the same old things. And that's what, at least it seemed like George or the McCaskies or somebody said, hey, we have to restructure how we're doing things because it hasn't been working. I mean, it worked once. Let's just say that, right? So we got to figure it out. Like we was talking about how this team is ran, how we draft players, how we, run teams, what we need. And I think the thing is why you said when they were sitting up there, how Ryan Poles had that I'm in trouble at the principal office kind of look, probably because Kevin Warren seems to have more of a tougher personality and a more direct, like father kind of elder kind of presence. And Ryan Poles is kind of the cool cousin. He did right by Justin Fields instead of taking the best possible place and sending Justin Fields somewhere to where he'd probably get waived. but we got a way better pick. The same thing with Herbert and all this kind of stuff. And we think he could make those tough decisions because of the Khalil Mack and the Roschon thing, which was tough on fans and tough on the organization to see some of our predominant players leave. Turn those back on. But at the same time, he turns around and does, that's just called genuinely human things. Like, I didn't want to mess over this person, or I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? Yep. And I think Kevin Warren finally said, hey, the reason you kept Eberflus because you talked about, hey, this is his livelihood, this is his job, this is his career, Shane Water was a nice guy. The interview might have was perfect. He seemed like we can work together and all that kind of stuff. But is that what would be best for the team? Because that's what you've been saying at the top of all of your commentary and piece. I'm gonna do what's best for the team, best for this organization. And then you turn around and say, hey, look, you singled out a play, like I said, with especially like the Justin Fields thing, like you singled out one person. Sit down. You singled out one person and said, hey, look, I took the minimum because I wanted Justin to go somewhere where he would still have a chance to play, which is honorable in the sense, in any sense. But at the same time, you got to get cutthroat sometimes, because this is not just, a pickup game at the family reunion. This ain't, your cousin's playing. This is our organization. This is our business. And this is our, our franchise. And we need to make those hard choices. If you got to cut somebody, cut them. If you got to waive somebody, waive them. Holding on to Velus Jones or probably a little bit too long. Or, going to get Claypool because you thought you can, punch him on the shoulder and boost his morale and make him a better person, or and I think a lot of his mistakes came from personal than professional. And I think he got in a lot of trouble with Kevin Warren over, hey, look, dude, all your mistakes have been because you took a personal approach to it instead of a professional approach to it.
So it sound like so to me it sound like you understand why Poles is upset or feeling some type of way about Kevin Warren being over him, but you also understand why Kevin Warren
has a job.
Yeah, exactly. But you understand that's why he has a job.
Because we tried it with nobody above you, and they was looking like, hey man, a lot of this stuff is looking kind of like nice guy-ish. Let's get you some supervision and let's see. And even when Kevin Warren first came on, Ryan Poles still seemed to have kind of free reign where he would even talk about, hey, look, I talked to McCaskey like early on. And then it started to get to the, okay, what you doing? Why are you doing it? Yeah, you got final say, but now you have to be held accountable by somebody whose job it is to hold you accountable.
Right.
Because McCaskey, they the owners. They, you know what I mean? They, let's just have, they writing checks. Let's just say that. They have opinions, but they still just writing checks at the end of the day.
It seemed like the first year Kevin Warren came in, he was hands off. He just taking it, sitting back, watching, see how this shit go down. Let me Crooked Commish, shout out to you. Appreciate you in the chat, man. Hit that like button for us and give us a subscribe. We here every week, every Saturday and Sunday. Post game shows for after the game, and then Saturday we do some pre-game shows, just breaking down everything Chicago Bears. So hit that like button for us and give us a subscribe. Appreciate you being in the chat. But seemed like Kevin Warren was just taking a step back at first, and he wasn't really too hands-on. And then we kept okay. I feel like answer me this question, and I've been hearing this. Do you think it was Ryan Poles' decision to retain Matt Eberflus at the beginning of the season? Because what I'm hearing is Poles probably wanted to fire him, but because of his contract, because he got fired and he still got another 2 years left on his contract. He had a 5-year deal. Flus had a 5-year deal. Poles had a 4-year deal. So Poles got 1 more year after this season. Flus had 2 more years after this. So people saying that he was forced to keep him and he kind of didn't want to. You think there's some truth to that? You think?
I think it was
a Poles decision to keep him?
I think it was Poles' decision to keep him, but I wouldn't say Poles automatically wanted to. He seems like a very profit and loss kind of guy. Like, hey, what's going to cost us more? Is it going? Can we find somebody? What is the value in it? You know what I mean?
Right.
And honestly, I was screaming for fire Flus, but if we would have fired Flus then in June or July, I couldn't tell you. I mean, other than Harbaugh, who I couldn't come up with a great candidate that we know we can bring in or something. And I think Poles tested the waters and seen his chances of getting Harbaugh and was like, who else is out there that really can step in kind of? And I think a lot of offensive coordinators or other people like that, he looked at like, I got to see him for another year, or kind of let's not get too hasty. He seems like he doesn't want to get too hasty, and which
try
I can
to
understand.
keep some continuity.
Try to keep some continuity. Don't bring somebody in. If we're going, because like you said, he would have been on a contract for 3 more years if we would have did it before this season, right? And then we bring somebody else in who knew or hasn't been a head coach before or something like that, and it's just terrible.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like and like I said, and the defense looked good at the end of that end of last year, that second half of the season. They did look good. So it's kind of like the money that he does have. It seems like he has a good reign on the defense. And Caleb coming in, like let's try to we already got all this other new things going on. Let's not add something, you know what I mean, newer to it. On top of that, as far as head coach and all that kind of stuff as well, because he would have probably brought in a whole new staff too. So, I think all of that played into it.
And we talking about this because because we're having this conversation because the Bears hired backwards again. We did the shit backwards again. We hired Poles before we hired Poles' boss. Poles' boss should be hiring Poles. You know what I mean? We gave Poles a job.
We hired Eberflus first, and then we hired Poles, and then we hired Poles. So it was like Eberflus' boss, and then we hired Poles' boss instead of hiring down like you're just saying the truth.
The shit is stupid. That's why we having this conversation. But like, as in terms of power struggle, so do you think Kevin Warren need to let Poles do his job? And I don't need your say so. Go work on the stadium, get the stadium done, figure that shit out, and let me be the GM. Or do you think Poles need to have somebody micromanaging and hovering over his back? You think he need that?
I don't know about micromanage, but he do need somebody to give him that,
Judah do not like you. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't know what his issue is.
It's okay. That's all right.
It's all good. Yeah, keep going.
But it's in a sense of man. I mean, you gotta have checks and balances, man. You gotta have checks and balances. It can't be. Look at the Cowboys. Jerry Jones is the owner. And you would think he was the head coach and the starting quarterback.
GM, yeah, all that.
You see what I'm saying? Like his voice rings in Dallas, not just even for the Cowboys. I mean, if you go back a few weeks ago when he was on the radio talking to the radio interview and was like, "Hey, man, don't ask me those kind of questions. I have somebody else with your job." We don't want that kind of thing in our organization. You do need to have like I said, checks and balances. Somebody to say, hey, are you sure? Where is this coming from? This is not, like, look at the cons in it, like when we talk about the podcast, I know we need a dynamic, dude. You need a sounding board. You need somebody to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when he came in, he made a lot of very tough decisions coming in to the organization, Ryan Poles, that we all, like I said, it made Bears fans and the organization go like, oh man, why would you get rid of him? Oh, that was probably our best player. But it's like, hey, we need to restructure all this in order to create a complete team. So it seemed like you had the cojones to do it, and then now it seemed like you getting too comfortable, maybe you feeling yourself a little bit too much now.
I wonder if you now that you mention it, and like I said at the beginning of the show, we're gonna get into Ryan Poles' best moves and his worst moves, some good and some bad. And I wonder if you put those in there. I don't have those. I actually did not put the Khalil Mack or Roquan moves in mine, good or bad. So that's interesting. I forgot about those moves actually.
Yeah, like I said, which made him look good. I mean, the fleecing, I was rewatching and I was like, he was like the failed Mary. We're gonna be known for that just as much as a Super Bowl shuffle now. So
yeah,
that's going on our record. But
Jay Daniels gloves are in the Hall of Fame now for that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, could be. But and my whole thing is as a GM, the fleece in the Carolina, like, look at what you got for that pick. Like, you gave them a pick, and you got all and I think we still got one more pick out of that.
Second round of this year.
Second round of this coming up. You see what I'm saying? Like, those are things that so highlights, it's the good things you do in a relationship. It's like, man, it took me to Paris, but every once in a while, he beat you because he's drunk. I don't know, but it just seems like it's that. I mean, domestic violence is not funny, but no, for real, it's like, and then you look at the Claypool blunder, the like, a lot of stuff is like, it didn't make sense when you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really didn't make sense. It felt like a reach. It felt like a crapshoot. Like, you know how it is with players with bad personal issues in most professional sports. Going to another team ain't gonna change that player.
The Claypool, go ahead, keep going.
No, I'm just saying, like, the Claypool thing, or like, just the mishaps that he was, like, just the reaches. Like, we talk about the third round picks for the last 3 seasons. Like, what happens when he gets to the third round? Is he like, good, put his hands over his eyes, point at the board and say, just take him? That's, it's kind of like, we see this cockiness sometimes in him that might cost you your job, bro. Like, and I think he felt like, because he had made some choices, had kind of restructured, was going off some of the good things he already done. Like, well, they can't get rid of me because I've done all of this. Look what I've done already, So I think he just, like
look, Black Rain saying Edmonds is becoming a disappointment. I didn't put Edmonds in any of my list either. I don't know if you did, but that's another good point. $80 million to a 4-year, $80 million contract to I almost said Chase Edmonds, but Tremaine Edmonds, that
seems like a waste at this point.
And you go spend 18 point something on TJ Edwards, and he's better. And he's better. So, all right, let's see. You brought up Chase Claypool a couple times. Let's talk about it. Let's start talking about some of these best and worst moves he's done. Let me get a banner created real quick. We're gonna start with the best. We're gonna start with his best moves. And then and then go move into some of his worst moves. All right, best moves by polls. I wanted to do an order. I'm gonna try to start an order, but it might get out of order. Number 1, best move by far, and I think this one we're gonna agree on. Carolina trade. You got that turned into DJ Moore, I guess Darnell Wright, and the second rounder this year, and a bunch of other picks and stuff we got from that trade. I actually kind of hate that people keep bringing that trade up, and I said this when we played Carolina because that was like the talk of the week was that trade. I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about that damn trade, but it was his best move. It was his best move by far to me. What you thinking?
Honestly, I was gonna say that I had that at 2 in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
His best moves was getting rid of Mac and Roquan, and I know it hurts, but that started the just a rebuild of the Bears right there, because we had to get that money. We had to, we had to clear out some stuff. It was spring cleaning. We had to kind of get a lot of that off the books and everything to get a fresh start. Because I mean,
you make that a good move. That's a good move.
I think for the organization, as far as a fan, it like I said, broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? It broke my heart to watch them both go. It did. That and it just sucked to watch them both leave. But when you see what we was able to do after we got them like off the books and kind of look at it from a organizational thing and not just as a you like that had to happen. I don't.
Okay.
It's not too many GMs that's willing to do it and see what happens because it was a ballsy move. It was a real ballsy move. And I think that kind of cleared the way for us to kind of get into that possible area where we can get that Carolina trade.
That's interesting because so what I got that you talk about the Khalil Mack and all the moves he was making, Roquan.
Yeah,
I got that under he fixed the cap. That is so I put that as a good. Yeah, I put that as a good.
Yeah, fixing it.
But it was my number 3. You got it as your number 1, and you put the Carolina move as your number 2. Okay, that's cool. I put the Carolina number 1. I thought the trade, doing what he did, that move. Look, regardless of what people think about Caleb, you know how I feel about him. I think the dude is everything he was hyped up to be. He ain't shown me anything that shows me that he's not. You know, I mean, people keep trying to use it. They keep trying to use the generational thing, like how he was being tabbed as generational. So that I guess the knock on him right now is y'all said was generational, but he's not generational. We could talk about rookie quarterbacks and their rookie careers and what was going on and what they did. I still think he's generational. He hasn't shown me otherwise. He ain't even finished his full rookie season yet. So, but we'll see. We will see. So Carolina, we talked about the Carolina one. Then you went,
you went fixing the cap, then Carolina. What was your 2 then?
My 2 was trading for Montez Sweat. That was my 2. That was his second best move for me. And I understand it only what and this is look, because this is kind of an indictment on Poles because that move only worked for half a season last year. You know what I mean? For 7 games. It worked for 7 games. We 13, 14 games in now, or whatever we is this season, and he's not. Montez Sweat ain't balling. He ain't balling like he was in that last 7 games of the last season. So that was my 2. I gave him credit for making that move. So your 1 was fix the cap. Your 2 was Carolina trade. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, fixing the cap was my 3. But yeah, my 2 was trade for Montez.
My 3 was the Montez.
Yeah. Okay, Montez was your 3. That okay. So we got all 3 of the ones up there. We just got the top 3 moves in a different order. Yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on the Montez Sweat trade last year, and then what you seeing this year?
Obviously, it was a big splash coming in, but that's how new things are. Everything is nice and new and shiny when you first get them. But after some wear and tear, you got, like I said, it's gonna fall on my not so good side of it. But it's not a set and forget kind of thing. You got Montez Sweat. He did great that last half of the season, but you got to add into it, and that goes into we're talking about the trenches on both sides and all of that. And like I said, that's going to go on what he didn't do, on that side of it. So that's my contrast to that is that was a good move. I think it still holds some weight still, but I think, 7 games in, we saw almost every team saw him for 7 games and had whole offseason to plan to kind of keep him out of it. He's great. He ain't Aaron Donald. So,
I feel like, okay, good trade. Definitely. It's on our good category. Good trade, especially at the time. It rejuvenated this defense. But I feel like if somebody is gonna take shots at that move, it'll be the $98 million we gave him. You basically gave the man $100 million, and he has 4 sacks this season, 3.5 on this season. I honestly can't see him getting over 8 sacks this season. We got 4 more games, so that's will be my issue. The trade second round pick, cool with it. I don't care, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the $98 million after what he's giving you back in return, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money. So.
And me, it's a slap in the face because you're running around there with 98 on your jersey, and it's just reminding us of how much money. When I see you got the quarterback, I said it I think it was last week or the last show or the show before that. When I see you got the quarterback in your arms, Montez Sweat,
Brock
and
Purdy.
he don't go, that Purdy, and he don't go Brock Purdy out of all people, and he don't go down with you. I don't care that we got the sack. At that point, I'm looking at $98 million just
because it should have been your sack.
It's like he got the money. Brock Purdy got the money sack on his back, and he just stepping up with it, just carrying it around. And it should have been your sack. You should have more sacks. It's just I can't understand the trend. Like we talked about that transitioning good things over to the next week and constantly same thing.
Right.
What happened from last season to now? And then it's not that you're not getting there either. Is it that you pulling up? You think it should be handed to you? I don't know.
Let me address this real quick. Judah, no, he did not flaunt it. Every team does it. Their rookies go up there for the talent before they do the talent show. They say how much their signing bonus was, how much their contract was, and how much their signing bonus was. All rookies do it. Caleb wasn't the only one to do it. Every team does it. So,
he walked in a building $1 million already. So
yeah, I mean, we knew that. Everybody knew. That's my
already
this is a little off track,
but
Caleb should have walked in that building with an ego. If he probably trying to downplay it, trying to fit in. No, fuck that. This is not an organization you need to fit into. You need to change it. You need to turn this fucking organization upside down. Wreak havoc in this bitch. Shake some shit up. Because that's the type of coach we looking for, ain't it? That's why people want Bill Belichick to come in here and all that stupid shit. Because we wanted to shake it up. Caleb should have did that too.
We were saying that from JF last season when he was trying to beat around the bush about how he felt about coaching. And we were screaming like, say it, dude. You've been here 3 years. Say how you feel. You've been here long enough to be able to say how you feel, man. How you feel they treating you? How's it been going on? Like, what do you feel like they helping you? Do you feel like you're in a good relationship? It's 3 years, how are you feeling about this relationship?
Keep it a buck. They not doing you right. So and some of the moves that Poles made that are not so good happened under Justin Fields' tenure. So let's keep going then. So we talked about the Carolina move, the Carolina trade. The Montez Sweat trade, fixing the cap. My fourth one was, and this is you're gonna start to see a trend with number 4. And I want your thought on this. Signing Cole Kmet, I feel like he don't make crazy amount of money compared to other tight ends around the league. He has some drops, but he's probably his catch ratio, his numbers are probably like 25 catches and 28 in 3 incompletions with like 3 drops. He probably had 3 drops over the course of, I don't know. He don't drop the ball too much, but he when he drops it, we notice it, obviously. I thought that was a good signing, $50 million to Cole Kmet. He's been here the longest. Him and Jalen, they've been here the longest. You don't sign him. We looking for another tight end. You see with Jared Everett. I don't like Jared Everett. I know you like him a little bit better. But I think he's another Robert Tonyan. They ain't doing much. But
I had high hopes, and it was mainly because he came in with I think it was Shane Waldron. I think he knew him, or I think they had like some chemistry. I forgot, something like that. I forgot he came in with. It was supposed to be some type of game plan for him. I wasn't hyped about it, but I liked, the possibility of him being basically another wide receiver that we didn't have to label as a wide receiver.
Right.
And then having, Mercedes Lewis, who was basically a blocking tight end, to kind of relieve that Cole Kmet. Because I mean, if you look at what Cole Kmet did all season, it won't show up on the stat sheet, but I mean, he did everything from catching touchdowns and receptions to blocking to snapping the ball to, I mean, we should have him out there kicking because Cairo is fucking. it's crazy because I saw a video of Ocho Cinco kicking a PAT and I laughed at it because he boomed that motherfucker. It was crazy. I forgot he did that.
Of course, Ocho Cinco did that. Of course, he fucking.
It was crazy.
Boomed it.
He boomed it. You can hear it. It was a PAT boom that thing. But yeah, Cole Kmet. I got Cole Kmet 5th on mine. 4th, I like that. Not this one. Obviously, we didn't have a lot of picks those last draft, but he hit on a lot of late good picks in his drafting. I mean, it's easy, like we talked about it when I went through it. Like, it's easy to hit first, second round because that's where they supposed to be hits. You said it, like you supposed to be able to hit in the first and second round. If your first and second rounders ain't hitting, you shouldn't be drafting them. You shouldn't be have no say so. If you can't draft a good player in the first or second round, or an effective player in the first and second round that's coming out like Kyler Gordon, I mean Brisker, like those guys, first and second round guys, they supposed to be hits. I'm not even gonna give him. I can give him.
We'll talk about Kyler and Brisker because I mean, are they hits? Are they? I mean,
I still got good faith in them. It's like right now, given recent games, for sure, it's like but like a lot of these guys, and I forgot the dude name because I thought I saw him in a picture. The running back that tore his ACL on Hard Knocks, the doctor, the one that didn't go to medical school.
Oh, what is his name? Wow, that's crazy. If y'all know his name, the in the chat, put it in the chat. The dude on Hard Knocks that tore his ACL, had the dreads, had the glasses. He rapped Finito. He rapped Finito on the damn stage. Oh, what is Ian Wheeler? It's Ian Wheeler.
Ian Wheeler. And when I thought about him, and I was like, oh man, when I seen him, I was like, dang. That's somebody like given the position we in, the way he ran, how he was looking.
Wait, Wes, you saying a lot of stuff that's going against some of my notes. It's crazy. And it's like you touching on every bullet point I had, but the opposite. That's crazy.
Yeah. I know it's probably like flip like one up, one down kind of thing, but yeah, I got hitting on them, hitting on some late picks and some good undrafted play. I mean, even just those late picks, like the middle of the draft. We could talk about that. When I mean middle, I mean third round. But just hitting on some late draft picks.
I don't think he's hitting on anybody. Honestly, like I don't think he's hit. I don't think he's hit. They talked about when he came in as him and Flus gonna bring all these blue chip guys, these blues, a lot of blues. I don't see none. I don't see none. I don't see any. Jalen Johnson, he was already here. DJ Moore, is DJ Moore? Yeah, I don't see any. I honestly don't see any. I'm a little more harsh though, because DJ Moore is good, but he's not. He's not. You want a number one? He's not a number one. He's good, but okay. I got, like I said, I had signing Cole Kmet 4. You had what did you have for?
Hitting on late draft picks.
The hitting on the draft picks. Okay.
Yeah, like I like the Roschon pick late mid draft towards the Terrell
4th round.
Yeah, Terrell Smith is a 5th round pick. Who else I had up there?
Because
Elijah
I
Hicks
mean,
was a
even these second
7th-round
round picks, like
pick.
Tyreek Stevenson, let's come on now. He's looking like he's just a dude.
And
We had high hopes for
and-
him in season 2. He ain't living up to this.
and
And they
and
can
the
talk
thing-
about Terrell Smith all they want. Like, we got 2 good cornerbacks that could be on rotation. Hell nah. If Tyreek was that man, the dude that you know, he'd be starting. Ain't no fucking rotation. He'd had that spot on lock.
and my whole thing is that Poe's fault or is that Stevenson's fault?
That's Poe's
Is
fault.
that not
if
living
it's
up to your
Stevenson's
potential?
fault,
Is that not?
yeah.
Because Stevenson
Potential gets GMs fired all the time.
Stevenson, he already showed. Remember what I said? I said the whole thing that I'm holding people for is, hey, I seen your best. You shouldn't come in with less. Like I can understand progression. I can understand your potential, your progressions. You know what I mean? But I seen your best. And once you hit a point, you can't drop how he's been and say, oh, you know, that was on a person that said he would be up here when you seen him up here. Because Stevenson
okay. That's like saying Ryan Pace. Should we blame Ryan Pace for Mitchell Trubisky not living up to a 2nd-round pick? Hell yeah, we blaming Ryan Pace.
But what do we see from Mitch that said he was supposed to be a second round pick? Not at one point. Even when he got the pro, I think he got the Pro Bowl nod one year, and then he had something. But everybody was like, still,
right,
honestly,
that's my
who
point.
is this
like,
guy?
Mitch shouldn't have been there. Like, we're not gonna blame Mitch. It's not Mitch's fault that he went number 2 overall. He didn't.
It's not
draft
and
himself.
I think,
it's Ryan Pace's fault.
But I think we never seen a above average performance from him. I think a lot of his great games and stuff was the defense wrecking shop and getting them into good positions. And like we said about most Bears teams over the last decade and a half, is this defense. It's like saying, like, oh my God, I expected Rex Grossman to throw 5,100 yards for 41 touchdowns. I'd never expect that from Rex Grossman, but he went to a Super Bowl with the Bears because of the defense, and he was putting up points that year too, because the defense was putting him in there. It was getting the ball. It was, you know what I mean? And he had good, decent receivers, a decent O-line back then. You know, like it could. For me, it's the Brock Purdy kind of thing. Like, everybody think Brock Purdy is great. I don't think he's good at all. But he went to a Super Bowl with a good team because everything else around him was working. I think Tyreek put himself in a position to be that Robin to JJ's Batman. And then once he felt like he had that position solidified, he started saying no fly zone and all that stuff. And now you barking at fans because you, like I said, with the same thing with Pose. You probably got too comfortable. We seen you do better, and then you got too lax. It's like you stepping off you hitting the brakes. We need all gas every single time. And that's why I like your whole turn on Jalen Johnson now over the last few weeks. Like, okay, shut up. Because we saw you the first 8 games and all that kind of stuff, and you was probably top 5 corner in the league. But now you can't keep talking if it's not happening on the field every single week. You can't keep talking about what you did week 4. You know what I mean? Yeah, when you was in Palm, when you were talking to Richard Sherman, you was in Palm and you cheated and got that interception, and it was great. It was a great week for you. That was good. Yeah, you can go on there and talk, but
right.
Don't be on podcast talking trash when you out there looking like boo-boo.
Look. So my thing, Tyreek and the chat been putting some interesting stuff in there that I actually agree with. Like, Judah Big Hit has been saying some shit that I kind of agree with. Like, yeah, we drafted Tyreek for his aggressive nature, his aggressive style of play. Let me give a shout out to Dan Tanner real quick. Dan Tanner, I ain't seen you in the chat. Appreciate you jumping in the chat. Hit that like button for us. Go ahead and give us a subscribe. We here every week, post-game shows. There's no game on Sunday, but we will be going live Monday after the game and breaking down that entire game. He said, what up, fellas? Coming to support from Breeze Nation. Appreciate it. All
Breeze Nation.
look, Tyreek Stevenson. Look, I talked about this in the offseason, Wes. I don't know if you remember because we touched on it briefly. Bears fans overhype. We overvalue our players, man. We overvalue our players because we don't know what dogs look like for real. You know what I mean? We overvalue Kyler. We love Kyler. We love Spidey. But come on. Let's be 100. He's not a dog. Tyreek ain't that dog either. He's just not. He been getting dog walked. Who else? Javon. Another one. Javon ain't. Come on, man.
No.
You know who's a dog? And this kind of ain't fair, but I'm just gonna because Bear fan don't know what dogs look like for real. Khalil Mack. That motherfucker was a dog. That's what good football looks like. This shit, these, and like I said, I don't know.
But I just said that about Montez Sweat. Like, I'm not saying Aaron Donald is a pick up 4 people and push them to the quarterback kind of dude. That's a 1 in a million. Like, I'm not expecting you to be that, but I'm expecting you to be better than, you know what I mean? I'm expecting 98 million from you. You know what I mean? Like, if you get that opportunity, you have to take it. And my whole thing is last season, Tariq was in that position, like, okay, I see you can play. I see you can be that. It's your rookie. And okay, I'm just expecting better from you and better. And then like it started out week 1. We talked about it week 2 about him. Like, hey, look, he needs to stay focused and stop talking. That's when he first said the no-fly zone with him and number 1. I've seen him say it on the podcast. It was week 2. He said it. There's gonna be a no-fly zone, blah, 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 this and that and the third. And it's like, hold up. This is your second season. And secondly, guess what? If everybody is terrified of number 1, you finna get picked on. And that's what's been happening week in and week out. He been getting picked on. The quarterback's been picking on him. Defense coordinator's been picking on him. And hey, dude, just stay in your bag, hone your craft, man. My whole thing is just you should be better, or at least what you was. Even the whole defense, y'all should at least be what y'all was the last 7 games of last season, if not, if anything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like I can understand Kyler Gordon is I ain't gonna argue the fact, but Jaquan Brisker he's been a wrecker, dude.
He's like that's the thing, and I think who just put it in the chat. Oh, it was Judah. At the end of this chat, he said Tyreek is fine. Yes, he's fine. Kyler is fine. They're good. They're okay. They're fine. They ain't world beaters. They not. And all I heard was we gonna bring these guys in here that they just aren't it. Like, okay, like I said with Tyreek Stevenson, if he's gonna be a guy you re-sign when his rookie deal is up, you're not gonna be rotating him with Terrell Smith. You're just not. If you plan on paying this kid when it's time, you're not fucking rotating him. You know what I mean? That's my point. I just think we get these players in here and we start talking them up. We talk them up because we love them. They're Bears. They're our players. And they're just not that because look how they playing on the field. Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Performance over politics. I don't care about shit but performance. That's really all I care about. In the performance I see, these dudes we talking about ain't shit, honestly. I hate to say it because I love these dudes. I love Kyler. I got pictures with Kyler at the training camp. Took pictures with all these dudes. They're not dogs. They're just not dogs, in my opinion. Wes, obviously, in my opinion. This is a great conversation though, because I feel like it need to be had. It need to be had, and the fellas is going. The fellas is going crazy in the chat. Like,
and
here
I know,
you go.
and I can't even.
Go ahead. You can't.
Yeah, that's. And the thing is, I can't even really push back because they just look so bad the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's just like, man, give me something, you know. But like I said, you're right. Either you injured or you losing a step. It's like you start, like I said, first month of football, I could battle about Jalen Johnson. Second month of football, I could still battle. The last 3 weeks, JJ, like, since the divisional game started, it's been like, are you just trying too hard? You just trying too hard, or did you forget? Like, that's my whole thing. It's like I saw you being better than this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I saw you being better. Like I was watching the NBA the other day, and they was talking about some dude. I forgot what team he played for, but he had 43 one night, 9 another night, 39 one night, 7 another night, and these is like back-to-back games, like 29 and then 2. It's like, dude, where's because be 25, 27 every single night. I would prefer that than 50, then 2, then you see what I'm saying? And it's like they all is just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because everything is falling apart. They just not what we wanted them to be, or what it is. I'm just talking about the defense only right now.
Right.
Just so everybody can clarify what I'm saying. What is your excuse? And like you said, when you were saying, like they need to shut up. They do. You do. The only time you should be talking is if you doing your job.
We ain't got no Pro Bowlers. We ain't got none. I guarantee we not gonna have one Pro Bowler, but we got the Pro Bowl. We got the most podcasters. Boy, we probably got the most podcast members on this goddamn in the league on this team. We ain't got no Pro Bowlers, but they sure know how to go on the podcast and tell it like it is, don't they? That shit is ridiculous. These dudes is clowns. I'm sorry. I gotta call it like it is, Wes. These dudes are fucking clowns, man. Let's keep going with this list. Let's keep going. Will we just stop at Cole?
Yeah, we stopped at Cole.
Number 6 for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, number 5 for me, right? We on 5.
Yeah.
And we just kind of talked about Jalen Johnson, re-signing Jalen Johnson, even though y'all got into a little rift, Poles and Jalen Johnson got into a rift that had Jalen requesting a trade. Trust me, I ain't gonna forget about that. Loyalty is very important to me. And the fact that you tried to request a trade and you was gonna get up out of, he didn't want to be here. Just like David Montgomery didn't want to be here. Jalen Johnson didn't want to be here. He tried to get out of here the first chance he got, but he not running from $80 million. They gave him $80 million contract. He not running from that. So I think that's a good job. Good job, Poles. You signed him. Good job. That's my 5th one. What you think about that? Or what's your 5th?
My 5th was Kmet. Because my 4th was late draft. 5th was my Kmet.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Thoughts on signing Jalen?
It's down. It's a little bit further down on my list. But yeah, it's on my list. I got 10. I got 10. I got top 10. That so falls at 8th. That falls at 8th.
Your list gonna go a little longer than mine did.
It's a little longer. It's a little longer. Because I kind of divided some things up. In a way. But yeah.
They in the chat talking about the crocodile punter. Trust me, we're gonna get to the crocodile punter. I'm gonna talk about his ass at some point, but not on this best list, not for me at least. All right, let's keep going then. My next one is, and this is the last one for me, by the way. This is the last one for me, Wes. So we're gonna keep going with your list after mine ends. Signing TJ Edwards. I think that was a great move. I think that was a really good move. You got him for $18 million, 3 years, way cheaper than the middle linebacker you signed, and he's been outplaying him since he got here. You know what I mean? So I do think that was a good move. I feel like some of these defensive moves, like the Tyreek Stevenson, the Jaquan Brisker, I feel like Eberflus had a hand in these moves as well. You know, he was pushing for this. Like, if I'm running my defense, I need to get my defense right.
Yeah.
So, but Poles he pulled the trigger. So, I hell of a move. Hell of a move. This TJ Edwards move probably should be a little higher, but Carolina pick, Montez Sweat trade, fixing the cap. I think those are top three moves that Poles did for sure. But my last one is signing TJ Edwards.
So
thoughts on TJ?
That's after my 6th one, because that's 6 for you. I got 10, and they all just players, and I got reasons why. But my 6, and this, most people want to put it higher. Maybe you can if you want to, but Caleb Williams.
Okay.
having a guard with everything. You see what Judah's saying, you seeing what the media was saying, and all that
Right.
kind of stuff. And he could have, I mean, like I said, it was other viable. Let's say viable. I don't want to say they're all equal or nothing, but it was other quarterbacks that were viable that could have been in that place. He could have went a different route. You know what I mean? He could have traded down. Those are all possibilities. But to sit here and find and say, okay, cool, I'm gonna go get him. I have the faith in him. I believe in him. And like I said, even I doubted it in the offseason. Like, should we take Caleb or not? I'm not, but going to get him, understanding, because I don't know. I see all other quarterbacks, I see their stats and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, you said something that kind of stuck with me when you was like, how would those other quarterbacks, Jaden, Bo, JJ, who was the other
Drake.
one? Drake May. How would they deal with this Bears team right now?
You're
right
right.
now.
Your head coach got fired.
Your head coach got fired.
Like,
Offensive coordinator got fired. You're
O-line is
4-8
a
right
piece of
now.
shit.
O-line is shit. Jay Daniels probably hurt because he little. I think Bowden, JJ would definitely probably have more sacks than Caleb because he can't evade. I don't think his legs is good. I could maybe see Drake May probably maybe will be second if you think about where we're at right now. And then Bo Nix is a wild card. I've seen him slinging it around, but it's fine. I think Caleb is what the Bears need. And that's another thing why I'm kind of understanding those when they were saying with those blue chip players or those Bears. I remember them saying that, and I was like, we want Bears. We want Chicago Bear football players who can deal with being on the Chicago Bears, playing in Chicago, dealing with us coming on these podcasts, dealing with the scrutiny they're gonna get, the all of that kind of noise and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
come on, man.
I mean, you're in Washington, you're in Denver, you're in Minnesota,
it's not Chicago.
I forgot what. You're in New England, which they don't care because they still sit in house 6 Super Bowls anyway. So you got time with them. So like I said, I got Caleb. Then after that, I got the TJ Edwards move, which I thought was solid. I know a lot of people was like, we keep getting these local kids who from such and such Illinois and blah 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 blah. Well, TJ is good. TJ is probably still the only person on the defense that's still doing his fucking job. And I ain't heard him complain. I ain't heard no noise from him. I ain't heard nothing. And like you said, for the amount of money we got him for, that had to be good. Then I got re-signing JJ at 8. Simply because he, like I said, he requested that trade. We did give him $80 million, but he was one of those good players from the old regime, right? That Post didn't draft. That he actually kept around, and he saw the value that he could be, or the value that he is, or should be, at least at this point. Because, like I said, the last 3 weeks, that $80 million looks like it's just falling out the back of a bank truck right now.
Fucking literally, though. Literally.
And my last two, I could have put them all in one, but my last two is
well, hold on. Before you say those, so I did have the Caleb thing. That was the Caleb pick was really a part of the Carolina trade. Like everything that came with that kid, like Darnell Wright was in there. Even though that's definitely not one of my goods. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying. Like everything we got from that was a part of that. But I like that you went in depth.
I just said that the fact that he got the possibility for whatever came with it. We got DJ Moore, right? And every possibility, like I said, we could have got another different quarterback other than Caleb. We probably could have drafted somebody else other than, Kyler or Jaquan or whatever.
Because you were, like you said, you put it out there. You said like you were like not so convinced on Caleb. So there were other quarterbacks out there. Me is like was a no-brainer, so I didn't put it up there. But it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I like that you put that up there. Keep going with go with your last two. I do have an honorable mention. I
Okay,
do have an honorable mention.
Okay, I'm gonna throw my two out there, and
Okay.
I'm gonna do this for me and our co-host that ain't here. My last one I put on there, I gotta put up the Rome Odunze pick, which everybody is up in arms about. I think you just have to take because I'm looking at everybody in the trenches, and but I didn't see, well, maybe the defensive side. Obviously, you could have probably got Verse or somebody like that, but I just felt like that was the best player in that spot. And then the last thing I had to being ballsy enough to take a punt in the fourth, and like I said, that's future. Like I could see the look like, hey, look, this dude probably punting for us for 10 years. We shouldn't have to worry about a punter, and he's really good at it. And the same thing with Rome. And I use the Rome pick as like a fraternal twin for Caleb. Like they're finna grow up together. They finna be together, especially that last guy. You know what I mean? I could see that. Like you don't have to worry about it if you won't have to, re-sign Keenan or do like you were just talking about Tyreek when it comes to it. I don't think when it comes down to it, we're gonna be sitting here saying whether we should re-sign Rome Odunze or not. We probably just drafting another good wide receiver.
Not. He's a first rounder, top 10 pick.
Top 10 pick. And like I said, and
with West, that better be a
I highly doubt it.
Second contract.
I don't see it. I don't see, and that's my whole thing too. Even with what he was doing, like if you think about it, you said it week 6 or 7. You was like, I can't believe I'm looking at these numbers, and Rome Odunze is leading all wide receivers on the team in reception yards right now.
It was crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
Getting the most targets,
and he wasn't even getting the most target at the time on that. So that's why I put him on there. It's like he's shown that, hey, look, when his number is called, when he do grow up, when Caleb actually do grow up, he's shown, like you were saying, like we need a true number one. I think he's going to develop and be that guy for us for a long time. Like I'm talking about Larry Fitzgerald with the Cardinals years. That's how I feel about Caleb. I mean about Rome. Yeah. And I think it was ballsy to take that punter. Like, hey, look, now I don't have to worry about it no more. I thought we had to felt the same way about Cairo Santos, but I mean, you got to get some kicks too, because he ain't been getting any chance to kick field goals lately. But that's it. That's my.
So the punter, you put him in the best.
I put him in the best because he has been a solid punter. He's been in the top 10 of a lot of different statistical things, and on top of that, he's a rookie. A lot of the punters that he's up there with have been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years. I looked him up.
Top 10. I bet he the highest drafted on that list out of every punter. Probably. I bet no punter was drafted as high as he is, and he ain't even number top 3. Oh, wait, look that. So look, I'm gonna spoil it. The punter is definitely on my worst list. It's definitely there. I got a lot to say about that pick.
But if he was a 7-round pick, then it would have been okay.
Yeah, I probably feel the same way about him. I mean, not like in a negative way though. I probably just be like, oh, that's our punter. He's kicking some good ones.
So he wouldn't be on your worst list.
No, he wouldn't be on my worst, but he wouldn't be on my best either. If he was a 7th round pick, it's not like
I'm just
damn. You got him as a 7th round pick. Wow, good job getting him as a 7th round pick. No, I'd probably be like, okay, that's our punter. He wouldn't. He's a punter, Wes. Now we punting a lot now, so I would say he get punt 5, 6 times a game. He probably punting 7 times a game. That's a lot of punts. But in reality, he should only be punting about 4 times a game, which I'm not spending a 4th round. That's crazy. That you got Austin Booker after him. But anyway, let's keep going then. So here's my honorable mention. What more can you ask from a punter? You can't. That's my point. You can't ask for shit else. To justify. Okay, I'll actually answer the question for real. To justify him going in the 4th round, I need you pinning every time. Anytime that you have enough distance to get the ball down there, I need you pinning inside the 10 every single time to be a 4th round punter. That's what I need, Dan Tanner. That's what I asked.
I'm gonna see if I can find where he punt from to where it is, because I mean, ain't nobody punting 80 yards. Because think about it,
No, but you get the ball at the 30. So that's already, if you're gonna punt from the 30, that's 7. I don't even want it at the 1. I need it inside the 10. So just give me a 60. He can punt 60. Give me. I need you pinning for my thing is the value when you draft someone in the 4th round like that. If I go down to 4th round picks that turned into dogs, y'all be like, oh my gosh, Tory Taylor ain't them. He not them, or he not. You know what I mean? He's fine. But see, here we go. Like, look, first of all, shout out to the Bears Den podcast. I checked them out from time to time. They got some good content over there as well. He said he does change field position and he is good at pinning teams inside the 20. But 4th round is a stretch. It's a wash. I agree. That's what I'm saying.
What I was saying. I was saying if he wasn't a 4th round pick, then it wouldn't have made the bad list.
Right. There you go.
That's all.
He wouldn't have made. He would just be like another player that we ain't even talking about on this team because, like I said, like you say, he's top 10. There's 9 other punters on that top 10 list that are putting people inside the 10-yard line too. They're doing everything Tory Taylor's doing. They just were undrafted or 6th or 7th round picks. You know what I mean? So that's my, excuse me. That's my only point. Oh man. See, but this one, look, Dan Tanner, laugh my ass off. He can punt 60. Hell, that ain't easy. We glorifying punters, bro. Like that's what we do here in Chicago. That's what I'm talking about. We need to reevaluate what we think is good, what's not. But let me get to my. Go ahead.
No, I said we not glorifying. We just stating the facts. Like I said, you're right. A 4th round is kind of high. That's why I put it on. That was a ballsy move. I like the move. I like to be that aggressive, be that ballsy. Don't allow it to. It's what we needed. Probably could have waited. Probably could have jumped back in. Probably could have got somebody better than Austin Booker at 4, and then seen if we could have came back in with that 5th pick. Because remember, that was our last pick. That was our 7th round pick, technically, because that was our last.
Yeah,
pick.
It
was our last pick. We didn't have nothing else to do after that. We luckily got back in and went and got our old pick back for the 5th round, and got Austin Booker. So that was it. We was really 1, 2, 3 it out.
Yeah, I love the dedication from this dude, Judah, man. He don't stop. He don't stop at Caleb. Yeah. Here's my honorable mention, though, Wes. Yeah. And I feel like you mentioned it, but it's Billings. I think the Billings move was phenomenal. He's better than Gervon Dexter. He's our best anchor in the middle. He helped this D line big time. I mean, DeMarcus Walker having a pretty decent season. He wasn't playing like Billings. They re-signed Billings. Billings, I think he'll be here for another 3-4 years. You know what I mean? Billings is a hell of a player. He went down. We needed him. But that's my honorable mention, Andrew Billings. I really like Andrew Billings. What you think about that move? Making him an honorable mention just because he's hurt. He ain't even finished the season, so.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna finish the season, but we talked about it. We almost, I think, because he started out good, you know. I think he wouldn't get injured like week 1 or 2. I want to say. I think he got injured pretty early on in the season.
Right.
I don't think he made it to week 3, probably.
Wait, who?
Billings.
I don't know. I don't know when he went down. I forget when he went down.
Keep going. Well, yeah, like I said, he didn't make it through the first month of football for sure. Let me just throw that out there. And like I said, they looked like they were on par to be the defense we thought they were going to be, and it was kind of goes to my whole question is like, what is it? Billings? Is it Brisker? Is it like what's missing that we didn't have last season that we can't be the same that we were? Like
we were, like you said, at first we were. The Hail Mary, we haven't won a game since the Hail Mary. That Hail Mary put shit down the drain. Mm-hmm. And I'm not, look, if coach got fired, what's done is done. But you already know who I'm putting it on. The players, they psyched themselves out going to fucking, you let Drake May come into Chicago and beat the dog shit out of y'all. That's not on Eberflus, man. That is not on Eberflus. That's when it stopped for me. In my opinion, the defense fell. Just the bottom fell out with the defense after that Hail Mary. They never regathered themselves. Let's answer this question real quick. So after seeing Caleb this season, would you still have traded Justin?
I would have went for a higher pick.
My answer is yes. So Wes
Yes.
is saying yes as well.
Yeah, I'm saying yes.
Right. Hell yeah. Really. Yes, absolutely. Justin's not even starting right now. So yeah. You want to get into some of these worst?
Yeah.
And my list a lot longer on the worst. Bears Den podcast said the press conference post game versus Washington was the end. Flus refusing to take blame. I think that's weird too. I feel like I hate when people like, dude, just admit it. Just admit it. Oh my gosh, just admit that you were wrong. Why the fuck do y'all care? If he admits it or not, it ain't like if he say I was wrong, it's gonna take back what happened on the field. I don't really give a fuck what he says. I'm not that type of dude. That whole accountability bullshit, I think is stupid because first of all, he gonna say whatever he gonna say to the media. Now, obviously, we know because Jalen Johnson was pissed. We know that he was saying the same thing to the locker room. Now, but you're gonna say one thing to the media, then you're gonna say another thing to the locker room. We know that. I don't give a fuck what Matt Eberflus says at the press conference or Thomas Brown said at the press conference at the podium. I don't care. It's for show. It's television. They stream that shit. You know what I mean?
And I think that's why people was kind of in an uproar, and I think that's kind of non-verbally went out to us, even as fans. We like, why don't you just say, hey, look, you know, we missed that, or you know, I was wrong there.
Right.
Because it seemed like even when you read articles, even for going back to last year about certain things, it was like, yes, that's what like you said, you should be out there with the smiling face in front of the media, telling everybody in the neighborhood your house is great. But in there, you know, you disciplining your kids behind the closed door. What happens in your house happens in your house, kind of thing. But when you doing this, it starts to seem like, hey, you're doing the same thing that you're doing in the media. You're treating your team like they're reporters or the media, like you have to be nice and smile and say, hey, you guys did everything right. We did everything right. It's just the breaks. And it's like, no, that's not. If anybody watch sports or anything, everything is a situation. It's what do we do in this situation? Because one situation could change how the ending of the game will be. And that's in almost a lot of different sports, even individual sports. Absolutely. That one hole could ruin Tiger whole chances of, you know what I'm saying, winning Absolutely. It all. That, you know what I mean? But you gotta say, hey, even if you know, saying, hey, look, you know, Tiger, oh, my back was hurt. I'm just dealing with back spasm. That's why I missed something. At least you're telling us something instead of saying, oh man, I hit the ball right and the wind was perfect and everything was out, and it should have been a whole.
The media just need to they got to do their job too. So they get pissed. Right. Oh my God, I hate it. And I think that they played a role in that whole thing because they kept that shit going all week about the Hail Mary, all week about Flus not taking accountability. Go ahead.
Because it was just weird. It was just weird when it's obvious. You know what I mean? It wasn't even speculation. None of us are speculating that was a bad sequence that you had more control over and that you could have did differently.
How much control did he have over the Hail Mary though? Like, so people are pissed that he said the play before the Hail Mary didn't matter. Okay. You gave up 13 yards. You didn't guard the boundaries of the field. They got 13 yards, which set up the Hail Mary. Even then, the Hail Mary was still short because Tyreek Stevenson pushed it back.
And my whole thing, like, that makes it all look worse. Like,
with the 13 yards, that Hail Mary should still not be completed. That's not on Flus. Look, I get if you want to break it down and be very technical about it. Yes, the 13 yards does matter. But even if they do get that 13 yards, you motherfuckers better not let them catch this ball back there. Still,
my whole thing is this.
Are still very low.
And this is my thing. He could have said that to the media. Hey, we did everything right. Well, but when he went in that locker room, it should have been, hey, we should have ran a different play. We shouldn't let them get that pass on the first time. I should have called a better play. So he got to his team. And on top of that, hey, you 29, stand up. what the fuck was you doing? Why was you over there? Let's put it on the screen because this is what I'm talking about. This is why we're not winning games. And you need to go in there to your team, and that's what you can see. Then after that, it's like every week.
Right, but we don't exactly know what happened in there. People was pissed that he was disciplining Tyreek Stevenson and not taking accountability for the play before the Hail Mary. I don't give a fuck about that play before the Hail Mary. Unfortunate.
And my whole thing is this: that was fake discipline. Either you gonna play him. If you gonna play him at all, let him start. Quit acting like you know what I mean. Sitting him out for a series of 2 was punishment. That wasn't because he played not 80% of the rest of the game anyway. You should have just let him start in the first place. So, or you could be stern as fuck and say, guess what? You're not playing at all. Actually, don't even put on pads. You're going to stand on the sideline and watch.
Right, but I had a problem with that because you guys wanted him fired. Now y'all want the man that y'all want fired to discipline our starting quarterback. It doesn't make sense.
No, and
we're gonna allow a man that we believe shouldn't be here right now to continue to make these important decisions on whether we win or lose because we got our ass kicked that game. That was the Arizona game. Got our ass whooped.
And that's my whole point. It was either you should have just started him and said, hey, I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if y'all think he should be disciplined or not. That's fine. He's one of our best players. We need him. We need to get back in the right track of winning because that's my job.
Absolutely.
Or he could have been like, hey, that was egregious as hell. His punishment is he will not play. He won't even suit up. And that's because I want to set a precedent on this team of if you ain't gonna be out there playing, I don't care if it's 1 play or 2 play. Like even with the DJ Moore thing, like if you want to call it that he gave up on a play or whatever, you want to discipline him for that, then be that kind of person, but don't sit on the fence because your butt gonna start hurting.
DJ gave up on that play.
You know what I mean?
DJ was pouting. That was one of them pout moves. I've seen players pout on the field. He's fucking pouting. But yeah, I completely agree. I definitely agree.
That's all I'm saying.
I just the blame is just crazy as if Flus was just the sole reason. And we saw after 38-13 loss, it just rubbed me the wrong way because these players get they handheld for what? That's my thing.
I just don't want to give the illusion that Flus was a scapegoat when that's not true.
Oh, he was definitely a scapegoat.
No.
He was definitely a scapegoat. He was. Because you know what? Good players can overcome some bad coaching. You know what I mean? And that players make coaches. If we're gonna be real, Jordan made not Pippen. Jordan made Phil. Kobe made Phil. Phil didn't make them. He didn't make them. LeBron has made every coach he's played. Tom made Bill Belichick. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is making Andy Reid. Andy Reid left his other job in Philly for a reason. He didn't win shit. They got close. Kyle Shanahan is looking for a quarterback to make him. He's winning games, but he ain't. Don't mean a thing if you don't win a ring. Players make coaches. This is a players game. This is a players league. That's all I'm saying. Like we talk about these coaches. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you ready to move on to our worst moves?
Yeah.
It's gonna get real dicey here. This is gonna get real dicey. Let's talk about the worst moves by Poles. And this is like I told you, Wes. I got a longer list here. And I put it in the chat last week. Ryan Poles fired loading. It's loading. It ain't here, but it's loading. Fucking buffering. The circle is spinning. My number one. Yes. And we see Wes. I don't want to make it seem like I'm defending Flus because I felt like he shouldn't have been here to begin the season. But he definitely was a scapegoat. I don't care how you want to slice it up. He was a scapegoat. You had to fire somebody to make them the reason for this season going away. That 29-9 loss in Arizona after the Hail Mary was not on flukes. I guarantee those coaches in that building prepped the same way they prepped when we were 4-2. They prepped the same way they did last season. Nothing they did changed from Washington to Arizona. You know what changed? The play on the goddamn field, because they was crying. Them players was crying. They was whiny as hell. Why am I the only one that see that? I don't get it. I really don't understand it.
Because it's not that you necessarily wrong to people, I would say. It's just no, man. Like we can't, because like you just said it when you talked about the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. It's like they playing like trash. They barely making it through games. They defense is up one game down the next. They offense is good. Patrick Mahomes getting sacked, lowest number. But just for some reason, the football guys want to give them W's. Like like I was talking to my homie that I said, we still like laugh and talk about, man, that double doink was just, God, now we got the Hail Mary. I'm like, yeah, but did you see the Chiefs just doink it in for a fucking win? How did they doink in for the win for the Chiefs, but we get a double doink and lose in a playoff game? Like, how come the football guy, we laughed about that. How come the football guys hate the Bears so much? And I was like, the Raiders was riding down the field with, what's his name? I forgot their quarterback name, Aiden something or whatever his name is. O'Connell. They got O'Connell out of all people, and they finna drive down the field. And they pretty much basically one snap away from being in field goal range. It's finna beat the Chiefs. What happened? The rookie center snaps the ball too early. He not looking, hit them all in the face. They fumble, Chiefs recover, and then they win by like 1. Like it's like being on the opposite side. It's like watching terrible in Kansas.
But that has nothing to do with coaching. That's just luck. Like you could call luck, but that ain't got nothing to do with coaching.
And that's how they don't got nothing. What I'm saying is this: they always just in it. They're in it, and it's like they always coached in a way. It seems. Let me just say, it seems to be right there and wait for that luck. Like we a lot of the time we got down. Like I forgot what game it was when we kept getting forward. And then we'll get a penalty that goes back against us. Then we got a penalty that put us up forward and back and forth. And we could talk about how that worked as well. That was some luck too. We got good calls.
That was the Vikings game.
Yeah, I think it was like the Vikings game or something like that. And then it was another game where it was like we got a penalty, we got up there, and then they called that horse collar on what's the name? That was obviously wasn't a horse collar. Should have been reviewed on Kyler, like stuff like that. Like we could talk, but it's like it always seemed to be negative to us. But what coaching has to do with, you have to coach your team out of, hey, don't listen to the refs. Hey, don't worry about what the other team doing. Hey, we got this. And I feel like all these players is feeling like they don't got it. I feel like they feel like, oh, well, we ain't got it this year. It's pretty much over. And nobody's holding them like, yeah, you got to. And then, like you said, then you want to go on podcasts and talk about how bad everybody else is when all of y'all looking bad. And I said it last week. I've never ever as a Bears fan had a season where I'm looking at the defense like, what? Like, this can't be life. This got to be the Twilight Zone. It has to be a different Bears team. This has to not be real that our defense looks this bad. And like you said, 38, like, come on, man. That's crazy.
And I get it's one game. And we'll see what happens with these last 4 games. But I don't get how, if Flus was such the problem, look, don't get me wrong, he should have been fired before the season started. But you got your ass whooped the following week. So I want to address it. Bears Den podcast said he lost the team from Washington to Arizona. Once you lose the locker room, it's over. Why the fuck did he lose the why did he lose the locker room after the Washington game? You're 4-3. You still have so much to play for. I don't give a fuck if you hate your head coach. You have a lot to play for. You go into Arizona, you're 5-3 now. You go, and then New England comes to your town, your home field. Now you're 6-3. Why the fuck did he lose? Why are we? Because people are using this. He lost the locker room. Why the fuck did he lose the locker room that early? Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. I don't care if you hate your head coach. You got too much to play for to be losing. Talking about, I'm not gonna play hard for this dude. We're 4-3. He just said some weird shit in the press conference, so I'm not gonna make this tackle, huh? I don't care about holding himself accountable. You have a job to do, and you're 4-3. Where it's not adding up, Wes. It's not adding up. It's not adding up.
It adds up to, I think, y'all didn't think he was supposed to be there.
But he's here, and you're 4-2. Y'all was just happy as fuck after coming home from London. Happy than a bitch. Now you lose in Washington the week after the bye week, and now you lost the locker room. What?
But I said that. But I said that. I think the after the London game was like, I'm kind of going back to what you said the week before that when you was like, "Hey, I don't see Flus like he outcoached somebody or something, like he's the reason that they even won." And I said, "Is it coaching or just talent?" And they like, "Hey, look, I'm not gonna let you ride my talent for 2 more years on your contract because they don't want to fire because of money or whatever it is." Like I said, we don't know the exacts of it. I don't know, but something had them in an uproar. Something had them like ticking. Something had them ticking.
That's because they got paid. People like this dude that he just original one. Appreciate you in the chat, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. Look, he said trade Jalen Johnson because he be getting cooked. I'm not going that far, but this is what I'm talking about. This motherfucker got paid, and they want to start doing this. DJ Moore talking so much, and he's a quiet dude, but he want to. Oh my God, man!
It's like I said, it has to be that whole. Like I said, I don't. Why would you? I mean, why is DJ throwing tantrum? We got $110 million contract. I wouldn't be throwing no tantrum with $110 million contract, and I got
no. Now you feel because before, guess what? You didn't have that money before. You didn't have that type of security before, so you gonna shut the fuck up. Especially Jalen Johnson.
I mean, DJ had that money during the offseason. He got his contract,
and then the
season came, and he was throwing tantrums the first week 3, I think it was. He was throwing tantrums.
Exactly.
Like, why am I throwing tantrums? I don't.
We started on 4 last year, West.
Yeah,
West.
And he did
started on 4, and he didn't say shit. He wasn't even getting target last year during that 0-4. He didn't say shit.
He did.
Now
I think he's throwing tantrums because he like, dude, like I can't, like, oh, this ain't finna happen again. Like, we not finna start off like I couldn't.
We were 4-2.
And like I said, with JJ, it's more of the first 8 to 10 weeks. He was rated top 5 number 1 cornerback in the league.
Well, look,
and he was still it. Like I said,
Jalen ain't going to the Pro Bowl this year.
He ain't going to the Pro Bowl because of the
that ain't nobody but him.
But him. That's all him. That's all him. And I think they just like, look, I ain't for the look. You gonna show up to work, and I'm gonna do all the work, and the other guy gonna get the promotion. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just do like you said, like we said before we got on air. I'm gonna do my 40. I'm gonna do my 40 hours, and as soon as I hit 40 hours, done. I'm done. That's it. That's my week.
Look,
I don't want to come in for no overtime. I don't want to help nobody. I ain't training no new hires. I ain't doing none of that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, they better hope we don't start 0-2 next year. Or fuck it, even 0-1, because these dudes gonna be crying like a motherfucker. This is not a locker room I wouldn't even want to coach. I would come in here like what's his name said, Mike Ditka for the 85 Bears documentary. He came in there, he said, look, we gonna win a lot of games, we gonna win a Super Bowl, but a lot of y'all ain't gonna be here to see it. That's how I would come in next year. Because what they did this year is fucking punks. There's a bunch of punks on this team.
It's because they could.
Exactly.
And that's my whole point. That's because you allowed them to do it. Y'all keep allowing them, like, no.
But they're not kids. They're not children.
But
children do stuff because you allow them to do stuff. Grown people, you're not gonna take advantage of somebody because you know better. You should know better. That's too old for that.
Man, it's like I'm a user fight. It's the same way Craig got fired on his day off. He got caught stealing boxes. He was doing stuff you thought you was gonna get away with at work because somebody else is doing it, or that's how people was doing. Grown people do stuff you allow them to do. But when you start putting your foot down and start showing motherfuckers the dough, oh, now, yeah. It'll be.
Grown people do stuff we allow them to do.
Yes. Yeah.
These grown and guess who fault that is? The grown motherfuckers doing shit that people allow them to do. Don't do that shit.
Sit there down. What you gonna say? Don't do it. You gonna say don't do it?
Who I shouldn't have to tell you.
You gonna say don't do it?
Have to. Jalen Johnson, you're in the second contract. I shouldn't have to tell you.
But he wasn't doing it
about everything that's going on in the locker
room. He wasn't doing it early in the season. He got away with doing it once. He got away with doing it twice. He got away with doing it thrice. And now he feel like he can continue to do it. And if I'm Thomas Brown, I'm saying, hey, look, dude, no. We not, and he should. If he want a job, if he want the head coach job next year, that's one of the things he should. Hey, that whole if the media's actually stuff, no comment. I ain't gonna say. Now I put up a bunch of clips of players getting questioned and asked stuff, and they just say, "Hey, it ain't my job." I don't, Caleb goes to the podium once, twice a week, every week. And he says, and if you watch his his press conferences and Thomas Brown's, when they do ask those tough questions, their responses are almost mimicable.
Yep.
When they say, "Oh, Thomas Brown said we got our butt kicked," soon as Caleb got there, I don't know if he said it this way, but we got our ass kicked. You know why? Because he said, "I'm going to tell what we supposed to be saying out here. I want to say what we supposed to be saying to the media versus what."
And still go out there and get y'all ass kicked.
And still go get. And I'm just saying the difference. Even Cole Kmet go on podcasts all the time, but Cole Kmet ain't dogging nobody. Hey, look, good group of guys, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We got to get this. I think we do this. All the positive. He's slurring the negative. You don't see him dogging nobody on no podcast, and he's on podcasts once a week. I see him every now and then.
Absolutely.
But you got Jalen Johnson sitting on that couch with the do-rag on almost every week, honestly answering these questions about stuff he shouldn't be talking about outside the locker room. And it's because he's not getting punished for it. And he, like you say, he already got paid.
Well, punishment or not, there's no Pro Bowlers on this team. I don't see one, and that's on them. That speaks volumes. Fuck what we talk about coaching. There's no Pro Bowlers on this team. Let's talk about these worst moves by Poles. My first one is, and there's a lot of really bad ones. Shane Waldron, hiring Shane Waldron to lead this rookie quarterback in this offense. I think now I'm not saying he had the 100%. I'm sure it was Fluce's decision, but you talked to Waldron. You spoke to him too. You know what I mean? It wasn't just Fluce. There's no way in hell he should have got this job. I've heard a lot of people go on these shows who are in different organizations or worked for different organizations, and they are completely puzzled by it. And I kept bringing it up. Why is he making a lateral move? Why is he not getting head coaching? If we're hiring him because he did so well with Geno Smith, right? Why isn't he getting head coaching jobs or interviews? And why is he making this lateral move? Because usually when you do that well with a quarterback like Geno Smith, who is almost going to be out the league, you're going to get some heck. No, he came here to work with a rookie quarterback to try to do. No, that was a red flag for me. And I kept bringing it up. Horrible hiring. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. That's my number one.
That's 5 on my list. And I only got
number 5.
Because I think he did a lot of some other things, and I'll tell you my number 1 that I think.
What's your number 1?
David Montgomery. I think
that's number 1.
I think knowing which route you was going and how things was looking. I think in hindsight, I think that's like, I think we could do more. We could have kept
That's
him.
5 for me.
Yeah, like I got David Montgomery number 1. Just looking at where we at right now, just having somebody who basically behind that same terrible offensive line and was still, we will have at least 100 rushing yards of the team, even if he had 65, 70 of them, and Roschon had 11 and 13 and Caleb had 22, we would have
Absolutely.
100 rushing yards as a team. Like I just want to remember, I just talking about the stats against Minnesota the last time we played them. 78 rushing yards total as a team. That means scramble, that's the quarterback, that's the running back, that's what you call the lateral passes is still considered rushing yard. Out of all of that, we can't get 100 as a team. I'm not even saying him on his own, but I think with a more of a aggressive runner that Montgomery is, given where we are right now, it would have benefited if you wasn't going keep him in. That I feel like it
we paid DeAndre Swift more than what we because the thing people always ask, why did y'all let him go? Well, we matched what the Lions were offering, and of course he's gonna leave. He wants to win. The Lions was on an upswing, so he went and took that pay. Now you probably should have offered him more than the Lions because you're behind. You're not as good as at that time. Your team isn't as on the upswing like theirs is. So you got to offer a little bit more to sweeten that deal. They probably should have did that because they ended up offering DeAndre Swift getting paid more than they offered dude. So
and that's why I don't get.
Go ahead.
And that's what I'm saying. And in hindsight, when you look back, it's not like we did a TJ Edwards move and got somebody that's just as good for cheaper.
Right. Yeah.
We paid somebody that's probably a little bit less than him for more when you could have heard. And then I'm pretty sure you could have called the agent and said, well, he was like, look, the Lions is giving him 55 and y'all give him 55. The Lions? Oh, no. If it was the Cardinals, the Niners, the Patriots,
right,
the Jets, somebody else. But if it's anybody NFC North, tell them to give 10 more million. Don't go. Don't stay in the division. Go. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Saquon Barkley with the Eagles to the Giants. Things like you gonna let the rivals, the people you hate the most.
Insane. That's
you see what I'm saying? Like that's
I can't believe they did that.
That's like what? Anybody you could let him go anywhere, just as long as he don't go to this team. And if this team, I got to play chess with this. I gotta, especially in our division, and you know that the Lions are on the upswing too.
Yep.
Oh no, they just won a division. Nope. We don't need that headache. That's why I put it as my number one in the sense of like you was out there looking at offensive linemen. You was making phone calls. You seen you wasn't really finna get nothing. Nobody was trying to come. You looked at your draft board and you had to have a plan and it's like, hey, to make sure just in case our offensive line is still the same offensive line, why not just keep the same running back who was pretty good for us last season anyway? And keep them outside of a division rival team on top of that. Like just thinking about it compounded because I had it lower, but I thought went down this rabbit hole that I'm going right now. I'm thinking about like, dude, you could have just the same reason you went and got Keenan Allen. You wanted somebody to be on the other side to make sure you had somebody on the other side of DJ that was good enough to be on the side of DJ. It wasn't like you knew you was going to get Rome Odunze or Marvin Harrison Jr. You didn't know for a fact, so you went and got a veteran that you knew could be on the other side of DJ because you knew you was going to keep him, probably offer him the money already. You already probably knew that. That was probably your plan anyway. So what happened with that? So that's my number one.
Okay, number two for me, retaining Matt Eberflus. I don't know if he was forced to do it or what, but that's my number two. The number one was the coach. Number two is Matt Eberflus. He shouldn't have been here. You can't draft this rookie quarterback knowing you haven't even re-signed. You can't draft this rookie quarterback with a lame duck coach. And that's what they did again, just like they did with Justin, just like they did with Mitch. They did it with all three of these dudes. It's sick that they keep doing the same thing. They draft them, and a year into their rookie season, they fired the head coach that drafted them. That's sick. They keep doing it. But everybody knew. It seems like everybody knew Matt Eberflus shouldn't have been here.
Yeah,
everybody knew.
And that's why it's fourth on my list because it's down there because it's like
that's fourth.
It's because it's for me, it's like I was saying early on, it's like we talked about the contract and still have them paying for 3 more years. Who else is kind of out there? What did you think your chances of getting hardball? Because that was like it was either hardball or bust. You know what I mean? Or bring them back. I felt like that was the kind of scenario that we was in.
I mean, but the finalist
my two and three is more of what he definitely had control over. And Yeah, that's how I got that as for. Like I got Shane fifth, Flus before that. Flus was first. He should have fired him, and then Shane was my fifth.
So your one was David. Who's your two?
The third round blunders. Like I've read the list again and I thought about it, and it's like that's your job. Your job is drafting, is bringing in the personnel, and you keep the third round. It's like we talked about it, we laughed about it, we giggled about it. Like if you look at the
Right.
third round picks that he keep making, Karan was last this just previous draft, which I mean nothing, wasted pick. If we want to talk about Tory Taylor being, which is technically he was a 5th round pick. They got him as 5th. I think that was 4th round, but they got him listed as 5th. But 3rd round Karan, 3rd round Zach Pickens, 3rd round Velus Jones. Like trade it. Trade the pick then if you don't know how to use it. Trade it away.
Velus was the first wide receiver he drafted. The one he tried to give for Justin to help Justin out, and that was that. Oh my God, horrible move. He hasn't drafted well. To me, in my opinion, he ain't draft. We don't got no dogs on this team for real, man. We don't. We really don't.
It's just guys. Washed. The people that he got that is okay. I'm just gonna say good because we're not gonna call him dog. It's like you muddy it with a wash, with a Javon Dexter, with a, like I said, like Zach Pickens. Like, you traded for Montez Sweat, which we said was good, but then you trade for Buddy that don't even play nowhere no more. The wide receiver. It's like a whatever his name was. Chase, yeah. It's like every time.
That's my third.
Which is he's my 6th.
6th. Holy sheesh. That was a 2nd round pick. Okay, so we'll keep going. So my first was Shane Waldron. My 2nd was Matt Eberflus, retaining him. My 3rd is trading a 2nd round pick for Chase Claypool, essentially a 1st round pick because the Dolphins lost their 1st round. So that was the number 32 pick in the draft that you traded to the Steelers, which turned into Joey Porter Jr. I think he's better than Tyreek Stevenson, by the way. You traded a 2nd round, the first pick of the 2nd round for Chase Claypool, who, like you said, ain't even playing in the NFL right now. That was really bad. And to his defense, that was his first real move to help Justin because you drafted Velus Jones, which you drafted a gadget in the 3rd round that didn't even work out for you. So yeah. Chase Claypool is my 3rd.
Mine is just, it's kind of contradictory, but it's just lack of figuring out something for the line. Like, I get you don't want to spend a lot of money, which you end up doing. You know what I mean? Like we talked about the Montez Sweat contract, the Tremaine Edmonds contract. We talked about the DeAndre Swift cost more than David Montgomery contract. It's like, it's not that you telling me that you're stingy. It's telling me that you got to be goaded into spending the money when you should have spent. You should have threw a big bag out there to somebody. You should have matched somebody's something or tried to pay them a little bit more to get this whole stigma around, hey, you didn't do nothing for the line since Montez Sweat.
Well, and one of these moves he did make on the line is later on my list too. So,
and it was just that, and then like I said, that's the lack of that line, those picks, and then I got Flus, then I got Shane, then I got Chase, and then I could keep going down, holding on to Velus Jones too long, knowing when to cut ties. You tried everything, but making him assistant head coach, like you did.
I got Velus on my list too, for sure.
Like we seen it, we all seen that, we get it, but like I said, and then on top of that, he left for nothing. Like you could have probably got something in the offseason for him. I mean, you let Justin go for a 6th round. You could probably got another 6th round pick for him too. Something. You could have got something. And then to do all that work and have him basically lose some games for us in a sense. Or make some boneheaded plays. Let's just say that. I ain't gonna say he lost the game. Yeah. Lost the game for us, but he still had value. It was a lot of teams that were still like, hey, look, we can see.
I mean, you saw in Hard Knocks. They said that somebody was calling a trade and asked them about a trade for Velus. They talked about like a 4th round pick. I don't know how real the shit was, but they talked about a 4th round pick for Velus, 5th round pick. Shit. He didn't pull the trigger. You end up releasing him.
Bonehead. Like I said, that's just bad, dude. But then the thing is, like, even then, you had nothing. Like, we saw the episodes too. We're gonna try him over here. We're gonna try him over there. We're gonna try him over here. You should, like you said, he should have a job. He should have a defined job. Like your defined job is to create a personnel to win football games and win championships and have this organization set up for the future. And not spend all your draft capital and then not spend all your money and all this kind. That's your job. Like we said, Eberflus, you the head coach. You're supposed to route, offensive coordinator. You're supposed to have this offense locked in. Know what kind of identity you want to have. Defense, like everybody got a quarterback. You got your job. But to have somebody to say, like you said, a Swiss Army knife that is dull and ain't cutting nothing, it's
third round pick.
You
can't find where you want to put this 3rd round pick. That's crazy.
That's see what I'm saying? Like, come on, that's ridiculous. And then, like I said, you should have let him go earlier. Same thing with Fish. Probably should let him go earlier and probably got a higher one. Send him somewhere that you would have got a higher round pick for him. Stop being so goddamn nice. Stop having the heart, motherfucker. Like, be vicious. Be
crying when you gotta cut.
Yeah, crying when you gotta cut dudes. Well, that's it. What you said at the beginning of the podcast, the antics of it. You the GM. GMs don't get to have antics. You don't get to have feelings. You got a job to do.
Hell no.
It's
handle your business.
Yep. You the head chef. You the head chef actually in the kitchen. You making sure everything that leaves out this kitchen should be nice, plated, cooked, edible, everything. You don't got no time. Jordan Ramsey. Be Jordan Ramsey. That we go. How about you?
Yeah.
I mean, Gordon Ramsay. Mm-hmm. Gordon Ramsay. Be Gordon Ramsay. Call people out, yell, throw people out when they're not doing the fuck they're supposed to be doing. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Really? Because Flus wouldn't be here.
Shane Waldron wouldn't have been hired. You would have outbidded Detroit. Velus would have been like, hey, if you're not a wide receiver, you're not a Chicago Bear. I'm sorry. I'm going to cry. On Hard Knocks, why are you in the room? Sorry, I really don't want to do it, man. I really thought you was
real hurt by cutting. Who was that?
That was Colbert. Adrian Colbert, which he just I think they just signed him back to the practice team or something a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you got get off the fence, dude.
So I got Shane first, retaining Matt second, Chase Claypool third. My 4th one is passing on Jalen Carter. And this is controversial. I know a lot of people still. Jalen Carter is going to be a star in this league. It is clear and evident. He's balling for Philly. He was doing it pretty good last year too as a rookie. You passed on him for Darnell Wright, and Darnell Wright is probably our best offensive lineman, but he's just a dude right now. He don't look like Penei Sewell. He don't. He looks like a guy. He's a guy. He's not horrible. He's a little bit above average. But Jalen Carter is a star. You passed on him because you didn't think you had the mentorship or all this dumb shit. No, you need dogs in this building.
And that's
not nice guys. We need dogs. We don't have any. Passing on Jalen Carter, I hated it at the time. Fuck Darnell Wright. We could find somebody to do what Darnell Wright is doing for us. Jalen Carter is a game wrecker, and we needed him.
Nah. And that's my thing. It's like you passed on him because some personal things or whatever he was, something, but you traded for Chase Claypool, who was having some personal things. You thought you was gonna fix him. It's like you could have took that. I got Jalen down there too. Like I got Jalen on there. Like if you thought you was gonna fix, if you was gonna be the Cowboys and just take everybody who got domestic violence and rape cases and all. You could have had Deshaun Watson.
Okay,
That
if he would have got Watson, that'd be on this list too for sure.
You know what I mean? Like if that's what you were gonna do, like that's why I keep saying about him. Like I don't know who he is. Is he the nice crying guy who is hurt because he had to let go Colbert? Like it's nice because you sent Justin somewhere where you thought he at least have a chance to play, and you was nice.
Right.
You wanted to bring somebody, but then you look at the other stuff. It's like, well, then why didn't you take Jalen Carter? Because nothing said that he couldn't play football.
You need dogs in this building, Wes.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
You getting these nice dudes, man. You need fucking dogs. And Jalen Carter, I don't care what people think about him. He is going to be a superstar in this league. Dude's a fucking mammoth at the D tackle spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. We need that. Javon ain't it, man. He's not. Maybe he'll get there. Maybe he's just a slow learner. You know, it's the league. You know, it's a huge learning curve. But you need talent in this building, man. You need talent. It's that simple to me.
And that's what I said. Bear players, blue chip players, like that. I mean, as far as his play, I don't care.
The dude was supposed to. He was projected to be a top 3 pick. He fell to 10. We traded back out of the number 1 spot to 9, and we still would have been able to get him. And we went with Darnell Wright. That pissed me off at the time, and it still pissed me off just thinking about it.
Why you take Caleb then? If you was worried, you know what I mean? Like all the controversy around him. It's like for me, it's you justifying, you know what I'm saying, one reason why you didn't get this guy, and then you turn around, you see what I'm saying, and we don't want that kind of noise coming in and all that. Like you said, could have had Jalen Carter then. He could have brought that noise in. I would have made the motherfucker go to anger therapy, but still been out there on the field every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night and wrecking shit. And on Wednesday after walkthroughs, you know, he'll be sent out the team therapist talking about what's going on this week to keep him in. You know what I mean? Like I would have figured out a way to keep him on the team because his talent was worth it.
Yeah,
same way you did with Caleb. Hey, you gonna come in and everybody? I ain't seen no painted nails really, or no purses too much. I seen 7 straight consecutive games with no interceptions. Like I see a rising star. Like you know what I'm saying?
Throw interceptions. I don't.
Like that, it's not that we want to throw interceptions. Nobody want the quarterback throw interceptions. But he's been getting the ball down the field more. He's been slinging it a lot more.
Yes,
that's all we wanted, and the numbers show. I just read before we got on the air. I'll read them once we get into the preview for the game Monday night. But he had 300 plus passing yards against Minnesota the last time we played. And
Week 3 against the Colts, he threw the ball 53 times, and people said you want to dial that back. Now they dialed it back, and then he wasn't throwing enough interceptions, or he wasn't getting the ball down the field enough. Like I don't know. It's just whichever way the wind blow with some people, and no interceptions, none of that. I don't care. Like we was in the chat a couple weeks ago, and after the Jared Goff threw the 5 interceptions to still win the game, and Dev was like, "Well, maybe Caleb should throw 5." Dude, we'll lose by 100 points. Let Caleb think he can throw 5 interceptions in the game. That'll be the worst loss in Bears history. I can guarantee you that. That's one thing I can guarantee. He's fine. I think everything he's doing is fine, except taking those sacks. Now he can't take those sacks. He's taking too many sacks, and that's on him. I don't want to talk too much on Caleb because we talked about this, but absolutely not. He about to break. He gonna get close to that record. That's disgusting. That's disgusting in sacks. But anything else you want to touch on with Jalen Carter? Because imagine if we had Jalen Carter in the middle of that D line with Montez Sweat on the other side. At least give him some help because Montez ain't got no help, even though he ain't doing shit either right now.
Yeah, he ain't got nobody just matching his swag, so it's bad. It just I don't know. Like I said, that was a big miss. Like I said. Those things I could keep going on.
Would you have you would have took Carter over Darnell, right?
Yeah. Yeah, easily. Because it's it's kind of like I said, he gave me that Trubisky kind of feel. It's like, okay, I saw the tapes, I see what he looked like.
Ooh, that's good.
You know what I mean? Like he can play football, but let me just say this: if I'm looking at Mr. Trubisky highlights and I'm watching Caleb Williams highlights or Jaden Daniels highlights, I'm like, oh, those guys though, right there. You see those guys over there though, because they have that's a gotta have. That's a gotta have kind of thing. When you watch him, it's a gotta have that dude. Joe Alt. It's like you look at Joe Alt, you like, I gotta have him. If I can get him, I can get him. You like,
oh, he's
okay.
Yeah. Oh man,
we need an offensive lineman. Okay, and that's how I felt about the number 9 pick. Is like the people that was there was like, okay, offensive lineman speaking. Some defensive.
So my next one was the David Montgomery, letting go of David Montgomery, which we spoke about earlier. Absolute, you got to keep him in the building. At very least, you can't let him go to Detroit like you did, because that was a good running back. He was a damn good running back. Way better than ones we got. And he just re-signed with. He's just signed an extension with Detroit, so he might be making more than DeAndre Swift. But at the time, Swift was making more than him. So that was my next one, which we already talked about. After that, when I got signed to Nate Davis, and when you were talking about the O-line earlier, it kind of intertwined with that, like, who you gonna throw money at? Well, he didn't throw a crazy amount of money. It was a 3-year 30 million, I think 33 million. He didn't throw a crazy amount at him, but that was his splash. That was like his big free agent acquisition move, because he didn't pay nobody else more than that. That's that offseason. The Nate Davis signing was horrible. That's right next to Chase Claypool, really. I just think passing on Jalen Carter is a little more important than the Nate Davis one. But he didn't play for us. He didn't want to play for us. He wasn't even good when he did play. I don't know how you got that one wrong as an O-lineman.
I don't, and that's one of the things. Like, I don't know. It kind of give me that. Well, I remember I said it a couple of episodes ago when I was talking about, the whole Shane Waldron thing. Was like, it was like you lied on the resume. You lied. It's like you said you're gonna come in and do something, that you had these skill sets, that you're gonna do all of this. It's like, and then on top of that, you just quit, which is I think that makes it the worst. Like, if you were just getting out there and just getting demolished, and we can look at tape after tape, you're not even practicing, you're not even showing up. We don't even know why you're not on the field, why you're not at practice. We don't know if it's personal reasons, somebody died, we don't know. It's just like, dude, like, and we said earlier on, when the first time that he didn't practice and they didn't say why, they say he's just not here. Don't come back. Don't come back. If you ain't gonna tell us why you ain't here, you better come back. Like back in the day, I don't know if they still do it now. If you missed the day of school, the next day you had to come back with a note from your parents on why you missed school. You better have a doctor's note, or a death certificate, or somebody should have died. A reason
why.
But we never got a reason why. And then he had some ticky-tack injuries. We like, his finger hurt, or his foot. Like, what is it?
Anything to keep him out of
anything out of the talking
out of practice or out of games.
And it felt like they were just making shit up. It felt like it, because it would be one week his finger or something, and then the next week he just not practicing. He didn't practice,
right?
And then the next week, his foot. Is this a lingering issue? Is this a foot kind of thing, or is this just foot constantly, lower leg or something? And then you just bye, gone. I don't want to play.
Deuces.
We
end up cutting him too, releasing him too.
And we end up releasing him too, and that's the thing that bothers me the most. Is when Well, you taking somebody else could be there. They probably be trash, but at least they there.
At least they working. They
At
trying.
least they trying.
Yep. I absolutely hated that one. Next to that one, I had, and this another you mentioned this earlier too, Wes, when you talked about the O-line, but I was more specific and I said failed to bring in a good center, to get a center who's going to communicate with your rookie quarterback, that's going kind of like the Roma Dunze pick, you know, that you marry the picks together and they going to ascend together. You should have did that with a center. You should have got a center in there to communicate, help Caleb alleviate some of that stuff that they put on Caleb's plate early.
Should have went about somebody, man. Like, and that's a position where, like you said with the Nate Davis, we was gonna go spend some money on somebody. Like, you could have just went gave us
Absolutely, yeah.
Go in and buy one. Oh, you don't want to trade him. You don't want a second round pick. You don't want okay. How about this? Let me see who's out there and what contracts they got, and I'm gonna throw $10 million on top of it. Because, like you said, I need that center to snap that ball to my quarterback, to throw it to the Romes Odunzes and to the D. I need that. I need that. I can chip block the edges. I could have tight ends. I got tight ends. I could motion around, but I need that communication.
Help
from
Caleb
my
see
center to my quarterback to turn around when he look up. Wait, look up. Hey, Caleb, you see 54 though, right? You see him?
That's the mic. That's the mic. ID the mic.
You didn't say nothing. You ain't say nothing, but I'm gonna say something.
Exactly.
That's what you know what I mean.
Help.
That. Like I said,
okay, O-line, we got to shift right. We got to shift right. We got to shift left. We got to slide left. This
like a line. Like I mean, I could have went opposite. I could have went all. We could have went from left tackle to right tackle.
Right. You went the entire O-line, which is
third. I put it third on my list. It's third.
Very important. I just went a little deeper because I could, like, you know how I feel about Braxton. I could have just said left tackle. Nah, I wanted to get that center in there because that was big to me. It was very important. The communication, like you just said, Wes, the communication, they communicate with each other. I only got 2 more on this list, but you can see my worst list was longer than my best moves list.
Yeah, like I said, I started when I did my worst, I saw what I did with my best, and I'm like, I'm not finna go. Like I said, I could have went left tackle to right tackle and just went straight down towards the end and just I don't know. Like I said, it's when you look at the good and you look at the bad, it's like just cancel each other out. So like you feel like you kind of did nothing.
To me, the bad outweigh the good for sure. He didn't bring in enough good dogs, man. Cause I'm looking at these dudes and they're just Tyreek. Like we just talked about Tyreek. We just talked about they're okay. They're fine. They're good players. We need dogs. With this division is tough. This division is really fucking good.
So a lot tougher than we thought it was.
You need some dogs in here. My next one, the second to last one, like I said, I only got 2 more, and we talked about this one, so this one will be quick. Was drafting a punter in the 4th round. Drafting punter in the 4th round was unacceptable to me. I don't think we needed Tory Taylor, and he was like what do you want to call it? Like a gimmick, you know, it's fun to see on the field, kind of like Simone Biles being in the stands for us and stuff like that. Really? Jonathan Owens. Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't care about Tory
you just
Taylor.
Call you call Tory Taylor Taylor Swift.
Yeah, really though. I mean, he punts. He's not. It
doesn't say
we could have any punter do what he's doing.
If we would have had a 5th and a 6th round pick, I'm like, yeah, we could have probably waited to the 5th or 6th round. And like I said, the only reason I'm not too up in arms about it is because it was our last pick, technically.
Which is even more reason you go get another O lineman or you go get another D lineman and then move back in and grab Austin Booker. Now you got 2 D linemen, but we went with a punter who ain't even top of his class, but he was definitely drafted higher than all of those dudes. I don't know. I don't think the Tory Taylor pick was necessary. I'm fine with give me Pat O'Donnell back. He was punting for San Fran. I mean, we're 4-9. Punter ain't helping us do shit. Shit. Laz jump back in. He say, I feel the overall softness, no dogs, stems from a soft owner, and that's the truth too. Maybe the owner they wouldn't gonna let him draft Jalen Carter with what he was going through. You know what I mean? Maybe because I know a lot of people like to blame ownership for stuff, and rightfully so. Maybe they had a hand in that, just like they had a hand in not firing Flukes when he wanted to. You know what I mean? So sucks. It definitely sucks. But hey, Ryan Poles, that's your job. You came to Chicago, you took that job, and you were gonna go to Minnesota for the interview, and you canceled it to take this job. So we read the article earlier where they said Ryan Poles has vented to people and said maybe he wouldn't have took this job if he known that Kevin Warren was gonna be here and he gonna have to go through Kevin Warren. So stuff like that. My last one is kind of with the center thing because you didn't bring Coleman Shelton ain't nobody. Then you traded a draft pick for Ryan Bates, who got arthritis in his shoulder. You didn't know that. I think we got a half a game from Ryan Bates, and we traded a pick for that man.
That goes to my, like I said, I should have put it on the list in a sense, because I was trying to stick with moves, but just as the way he seems to be, it's like he seems to do some methodical thing, and then he does something that's like just a reach. Just like, let me just try something. And it's like, let me go, let me just get, it's like, let me just go get this guy, like
arthritis in your shoulder.
How about this? You want the players to be dogs, right? That's what you keep saying.
I do.
I need the GM to be a dog. Like, nah,
I was gonna say Ryan Bates wasn't even gonna be a dog without the arthritis. I doubt he was gonna be a dog.
He wasn't, but I need Poles to be that. Hey, look, you ain't doing. You gotta go. Hey, look. Oh, this who I want, and this not even want. This what this team needs. And like you said, it should have been when you made the decision in January that you was going to take Caleb Williams, because everybody, I heard rumor that they already knew way back then.
They never even talked to Jaden.
They didn't even talk to him. They didn't even care. They knew you. Even way back then, you should have been on the phone with every agent, everybody, like what they want. These are the centers that I'm looking at. These are the left tackles that I'm looking at, and start throwing out some, because you're gonna have to spend some of the money eventually. And then you did it anyway. You spent it on
wide receivers.
You put
$100 million in a wide receiver room.
Yeah, you put it. You could have waited.
Now your quarterback about to get. He's been sacked more than Justin ever has. He's been sacked more than any other quarterback in Bears history. So that's the reality of it. We're here now.
And that's what I'm saying. If you knew you weren't gonna keep Justin, because he has a tendency to get up out of that. You know that Caleb says, hey, I want to sit in the pocket. I think you should have said, hey, look, dude, I'm gonna. What you want? You want $40 million? I'll take this center or this left tackle. Give him this, like, because I'm looking at it in that sense. Like, you wasted money where you shouldn't have had to waste money. You know what I mean? Like I said, that Tremaine Edmonds money that could have went. You could have went and got you a good center or a good left tackle, or at least somebody on the line, paid them more than what they original team was going to pay them, or more than what they wanted. I don't know if they just tried to match Judon instead of saying, hey, look, we're going to pay you a little bit more than Atlanta going to pay you. Because you already know so it's like you got he said it a lot, like he has a number set per position, or a pick he's willing to give per position, or where they supposed to be, or something like that, or whatever his little algorithm is. But sometimes you gotta be a little aggressive. No, you good. You gotta be a little aggressive. And I want to see a little bit more aggression in your
Yes, Laz, arthritis in his goddamn shoulder. And we traded a pick for this dude who played a half a game for us. All we was talking about was Coleman Shelton and Ryan Bates. And Ryan Bates, that crazy. He was supposed to be our starter, Wes. Like, this. I wouldn't be mad. I ain't gonna lie. As much as I was riding with everybody on the King Pose wave and all of this shit, I wouldn't be mad if he was fired, because this is the moves they're obvious moves you have to make. I don't see how you bring a rookie quarterback in here with a center with an arthritis in his shoulder, and another center that the Rams didn't want. Like, I don't. Look, I wouldn't be pissed if Caleb. I wouldn't be upset if Caleb didn't trust a goddamn person in this organization. Because, like I said before, everybody was mad. Oh, the rumors, Caleb don't want to be in Chicago, this and that and the third. You see fucking why. And everybody was mad at him for not wanting to be in Chicago. I don't fucking blame him. You see, he had a head coach fired, offensive coordinator fired. He about to break the record for fucking sacks in the season. Wes, would you want to play here? Would you want to play behind this shit? And we're a Bears fan. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't going. Don't send me there. Don't send me there.
I would definitely. I'm not on no podcast or no public, but I definitely be. Hey Ryan, got a minute? I know you finna leave the office, but can I get 5 minutes of your time real quick? I'll close the door and I'll lock it. And I would need to sit down. How much money we got? My friend called my other friend and told me that the Raiders center is not happy and all he wants is this much. I'll be self-scouting for sure.
Have a voice. You have a voice, a bigger voice than. I feel like Caleb's scared because he's a rookie, so he don't want to do too much. Dude, you better take control of your goddamn future, or they gonna ruin you.
Honestly,
they will.
I can't wait to see season 2 Caleb, because I think he like, okay, I'm new to the okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Now that I got a season and I seen everything, and now I'm in here, I think we're gonna see a more vocal, a bigger role. Him asking, seeing where he can, how he can do it without the stigma of being a diva, because I don't think he wants that coming in early on. I think that's what's in his head anyway.
Combat that big time.
He's trying to combat that a lot and try to keep it. That's why he said, I'm just seeing how things go, how things work, all this other kind of stuff. But come on, he was the guy that came in and said, I want my salary in Bitcoin. Like he tried to get a part of the team, as they say. Let's just make all the rumors true. That's what he should. What I mean? And I think this coming out, even though he said, like, I'm not in there, I'm not saying it. I think this offseason he gonna be in there. I think he gonna be knocking on some doors. I think he gonna be making some phone calls. Why we not doing this? Why we not looking at him? Why we not looking at this person? This is who we should look at. I think he gonna have more of a voice later on.
Just think about it. If you're asking for stuff like that, the Chicago Bears about to draft you and you're asking for equity in the team and stuff like that, just imagine what these head coaches, or like not these head coach like Ben Johnson. Let's imagine his requirements that he's gonna request just to come in, put his name on this goddamn franchise. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, what can you do for me? Like, we're not interviewing coaches and players. They're interviewing us. Why the fuck should I come to Chicago? You know what I mean? Because look what the fuck y'all did. Look what y'all have been doing. Ben Johnson came out and said he wants the head coach and GM to be in alignment. Well, guess what? That ain't gonna be. They won't be in alignment here unless they extend Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles got one more year left on his deal. So he's gonna be a lame duck GM. Don't no head coach want to be coaching under a lame duck GM. So are they going to extend Ryan Poles or not? Like what? And he ain't done shit to be extended. That this is this.
And I remember I said it early on. I said this the off season. I think once they hear his plan, it better be phenomenal. It better be precise. It can't be like when we talked about the firing of Flus in this. Well, if we can't get Harbaugh, then it's really nobody else. No, I want to know if you ain't gonna get you ain't getting Harbaugh. Who else you got? No, I want to hear none of that. You better
remember. I put in the chat that y'all was gonna be shocked by my head coaching, my next coach take or whatever. Yeah, I think I want to bring that up on the show. But all right, look. So we just finished the best and worst of Ryan Poles. Everybody that's tuned in or jumped in and out, appreciate y'all tuning in to the Black Bear Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Rob, with my co-host, Chef West to the right of me. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, the Black Bear Podcast. One word, no spaces. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as well. We go live Saturday and Sundays every week. It won't be Sunday this week, but it'll be a post-game show Monday night after the Bears on prime time. You ready to talk about Caleb Williams preparing for the first time preparing to face a team for the second time in 1 year? That was a lot. But we're gonna move on to that. Wes, kick it off for me. Let me go run to the restroom real quick.
Yeah.
Kick it off for me. Just start speaking on Caleb and what this might entail for him to prepare for. Not this. First of all, let's get this straight. This ain't just any team. This is fucking Brian Flores defense. Second time. Don Burr. Oh wow, we got a Lion fan in here. Caleb, 21 sacks in the fourth quarter game. Within 7 points, Caleb has taken 8 sacks and has 0 TDs. His fourth quarter TDs all came down. 2 scores playing catch up versus prevent 4-9. Yeah, I find it funny when people come at Caleb or whatever. It'd be all of these like deep.
That's plagiarism. That's plagiarism.
Like that. I'll be right back.
I think that's the third time somebody posted that exact paragraph in our podcast. 3 weeks in a row. I don't know if it was you, Don Burr. I don't know if you just copy and pasting. But word for word, that comment keeps coming up, which is fine. And all I got to say, he a rookie. So what? It's fine. He a rookie. That's my answer to that. But let's talk about this matchup we got against the Vikings, which went toe-to-toe with these guys. We've been going toe-to-toe with our division. We don't probably got it around at the bottom of the ticker right now, but Caleb Williams, 32 for 47, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. DJ Moore, 7 catches, 106 yards, and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 9 catches, 86 yards. Cole Kmet, 7 catches, 64 yards. Rome had 5 catches, 40 yards. Just going against this defense, it's like we kind of know what we need to know to beat them, and Caleb rookied it. Let's just say that, What center ranked 10th best? I don't know. It's got to be you again.
It's crazy. It's insane.
It's the exact.
Right?
It's the exact. It's like you copied and pasted from last week. It's the same thing. You said that. You want me to say it all over again?
Who is ranking these dudes?
Because it's right.
Shelton, what do you say? Top 10?
Put the hyperlink in there. Put the hyperlink in there. The URL. Where you get that from? It wasn't. That look, I just said that about the comment you left before you left. That Caleb fourth quarter comment, that's the exact same post from last week, I believe, or the week before that. And this is the exact same post again. We come on, man.
And who is this we? He's talking about we have sack. You have Jared Goff. Our quarterback is better than yours. Don't be wrong, you got a better coaching staff, better team. But your quarterback ain't better than
it took you long enough. it took y'all long enough to be even considered in
The
the
Caleb hate
division.
is
Like
wild to me,
it's
Wes. The Caleb
it's
hate is crazy.
it's like the bad facts. Like, what are you talking? Okay, added Roma, Dunze, Swift, Fields or Bates will be. This is remember we did this already. Do I have to re-comment on this?
Let's
Caleb,
let's let him talk and let's keep going
oh,
with
God.
this with Caleb. And
I thought he was gonna post something new, but like I was saying,
same
I
shit,
just
same shit, different week. You know how this goes.
yeah. So I just gave Caleb stats against the Vikings the last time. Like I said, 32 for 47, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like I said, DJ Moore had 7 catches for 106 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen 9 for 86 and a touchdown. Cole Kmet 7 for 64.
Look at Chris Foster.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like, and then if you look at it, like the only big difference is total yards, and like I said, that was the rushing. As far as passing yards, they had 8 more than us. Last time we played them, they had 2 more first downs than us. We converted the same amount of third downs. We converted 2 fourth downs. They didn't convert none, even though they tried for 1. We ran more plays, sacked the same amount of times. We punted it 2 more times than them, but we slow starters. Apparently, that's our identity. 2 more penalties, and we had the ball a minute longer than them. Like, we matched them toe to toe. And like I said, at the end of it all, if you want to blame it on something, you know, let's just say Caleb a rookie, first time in overtime. And I hope he learned from that.
Oh, so remember after that game, I said I looked at the film and I sliced up the blame on that. Yes, okay. The only blame I give Caleb for that is he should have just ran. Other than that, Cole Kmet and DeAndre Swift, the dude who ended up sacking Caleb on that play, I think they rushed 3 dudes. They were doubling him on the left side, right? First of all, it was a block and release. They blocked, and then they both released him free. They both released into the same area, and he just went and whacked Caleb because, I mean, Caleb was just dancing back there. Don't get me wrong. He shouldn't have been dancing back there like that, but y'all both, it was a blown play. They didn't run that right. There's no way y'all double him, and then y'all both release into the same area like that. But, I mean, Caleb was flustered. He should have seen it. He could have still dumped it off and hit him. Damn, it's a lot of Caleb slander in the chat tonight. But look,
I could if Caleb try, I can bring up all the other rookie quarterback stats, and they're the same. If not, Caleb is better than them in everything but sacks. Like, that's the only thing. And you can't blame all of them on Caleb. You can't. You just can't. You can't.
Damn, another one. It must be somebody on all 3 of their accounts.
Man,
Caleb
same
sucks.
person.
Caleb sucks. Caleb's trash. All this. Look, Caleb, you clearly don't know football. But look, I got a question for you, Wes.
I'm listening.
So this the second. It's Brian Flores defense. That's not just a regular defense. We know this. They blitz and blitz and blitz. He gonna test your mental capacity throughout the game. Do you think the second time around, because you see your opponent, now you know what you did wrong, you know what you did right, and you can adjust and stuff like that. But do you think the second time gonna be easier than the first?
I think it is, given the what I've seen from Caleb, the progression in him, the way he's learning certain things. And like I said, first time out against him, he matched that deep. I mean, he threw for almost 350 yards against them. You know what I mean? And we, like I said, the run has been what it is, not too effective, nothing to write home about. But yeah, those fourth quarter stats are facts. I didn't say the fourth quarter stats wasn't facts.
You know what else is facts about the fourth quarter? Him putting us in position to win games. We getting blocked, field goals blocked, and clock management, and all this Hail Marys getting caught, and all this other dumb shit. That's also facts about the fourth quarter. But y'all ain't gonna talk about that, huh, Chris? I don't keep talking about these in-depth, stupid stats. Remember, I told you, Wes, you could find numbers to prove any argument you want, and that's what they doing.
Yeah,
Fuck the Hall. Whoa, I love the Hall. We got in 2023, even though I already knew Fields sucked. Yes, I'm blaming the blocked field goal. He moved us down the field. We were in field goal range and it got blocked. That would have been the first time we beat the Packers in 10 games. Now we're on an 11-game losing streak, and it was going to come from this rookie quarterback. Oh my God, my bad, Wes. These dudes piss me off. It's dumb shit though.
Nah,
dumb shit.
Go ahead. You did it for me. You did it for me. Let's see. Jaden
20 yards.
Daniels has 2,819 yards. Caleb Williams has 2,746. Look,
16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Jaden Daniels averages 216 yards a game. Caleb Ward averages 211. You know how many Bo Nix? 200. Bo Nix 218 a game. 2,842. Caleb Williams is less than 100 yards behind these guys. If
Flus
that,
on the sideline,
I don't see us.
Flus on the sideline losing his mind to hike the ball. Flus should have called a timeout. That's what he should have did.
That's what he should have did.
Instead of putting all that faith into a rookie. But yeah, anyway, do you?
I ain't gonna put Drake May up there because he didn't play as many games as they did. But come on, the 3 quarterbacks that played, Caleb has the same stats they got. The only difference is the sacks. But they all got better offensive linemen. They all got better coaches. They all still got their head coach.
And Jaden Daniels should have lost that game. That's the difference. Jaden Daniels should have lost that game. But Caleb can't play defense too. But no, so I forgot what you said to the question. Do you think the second game going to be easier for Caleb? Easier than the first?
I think it is. I think the game's going to be easier for Caleb. Now, the game plan, was that Thomas Brown
what
first?
Stat is this? Like, what kind of stat is this, bro? This is what I'm talking about. The dumb shit. You ain't heard him say his QBR, his touchdown to interception ratio, or none of that. They're diving deep for stupid ass stats. Anyway, keep going. Do you think it's gonna be easier?
It's not the same. It's not the same offensive line. Matt Pryor wasn't here last year.
Yeah, no.
If you want to talk about facts, Chris Foster, Matt Pryor wasn't here. I mean, come on, man. The only people that was here were who we got? Tevin, the dude you hate. What is it, Braxton?
Coleman Shelton wasn't here.
Coleman Shelton, like a lot of these guys wasn't here. They ain't here. And from the first week, like you said, I think you said Ryan Bates was supposed to be on Sunday. He had a snap and a half, and he snapped his shoulder apparently because he owed whatever. So like the facts is wrong. What you're saying is wrong. What you're saying is something somebody found and made. I think some of that
like stupid stats that you find when you hate someone, you go find stupid shit like that. It's per PFF. The dude is saying per PFF, and you know how I feel about PFF. You already know. So if you're gonna come with your own shit, your own. Don't go look at PFF. Anyway, look. So I don't know, Wes. Me personally, and we could very well win this game. You just don't know what you're gonna get from this team. I know better though. I won't pick them to win. Like if I was betting,
they're gonna be in Minnesota. I think Minnesota time too.
I don't know if it's gonna be the same. I think it's gonna be a little bit worse than
the game. The game, I can see the game being possibly worse. But to answer the question, do I think Caleb is gonna learn from it? Yeah. Do I think Caleb probably gonna not allow some of the blunders that he had now? Game planning, how the play calling, stuff like that, all that kind of the stuff is not truly on Caleb. Like that's up to. That's why I was asking. Was that Thomas Brown first time as what up J2K?
J2K.
Like was that Thomas Brown first time as the offensive coordinator? Was that Minnesota? Or
Green
was it
Bay.
Green Bay?
Yeah, it was Green Bay. It
Okay.
went Green Bay, Minnesota, then Detroit. Those were his 3 games in order.
Okay. So the 3 games, yeah. Fucking almost. Okay. So I'm a be the optimist, and I think we can win this game. I think we gonna win this game. I think because a lot of people think we're not. I think we'll win this game.
So you got the stats from the last game, right? You got them up, right? You can looking at
Yeah,
them?
I got him.
What were his passing yards?
340.
You think he gonna go for 340 again?
I think he gonna have like 250. I think the same on the opposite side. I think they gonna because
how many touchdowns? What was his touchdowns? 2?
2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns.
He might throw 2 more of those. I just 340. I don't see it. I feel like it was a 27-30 game.
27-30.
I think this gonna be a worse game than the first one. You say 250. I think he gonna struggle more in this game. I just with the everything that's been surrounding this team since that game. Like we had Flus then, we don't have Flus now. You don't look. Flus was Flus. It was continuity. It was a little more stable than we are now. This team ain't stable. We got a bunch of interim coaches in there trying to come up with game plans and ways to motivate this team. At that time, we also weren't 4-9. You know what I mean? We didn't have these losses under our belt. So I don't know. I just think it's gonna be a little tougher for Caleb because I respect Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores saw what Caleb can do and what he did, and I think he's gonna adjust. That's what I think. I know,
I'm familiar with the Floreses. I went to school with his brother, so I know they're very studious people. And like I said, I think Caleb per se will learn and do and do something. I expect some more of just taking the yards that he can get, whether it's the scrambling for 2 and sliding. I think he's gonna try to get about because like you said, they're gonna try to bring it. And I mean, he can't block for himself. So if they can hold up, they can run some routes, even open up, give him some lanes to get up out of there when the pocket is breaking down. I think we're gonna see more of that. So I'm thinking Caleb will now. What Thomas Brown gonna do his second time around?
That was gonna be my next question. Do you think
he said he not? He said he's gonna get iron out the wrinkles.
Mm-hmm. Right, because he knows Flores ain't gonna stand pat. Flores that was the best game a quarterback has had against the Vikings all season. So Flores, that ain't gonna sit well with Flores. You know what I mean? He's gonna know that. He's gonna understand that, and he's gonna make adjustments to try to quiet that shit down. Because go ahead.
No, you're right, and that's what I was saying. Like I think Caleb gonna have to kind of take this game and kind of put the cape on this game to kind of quiet that and kind of help the game plan a little bit more.
I don't know. I just look, like I said, I wouldn't bet on the Bears to win this game, but
I wouldn't bet on them. But I could see us winning. I could see it.
In terms of winning and losing, I have zero faith in the defense anymore. I've lost complete faith in the defense.
And because they did such a good job on Justin Jefferson last time. I think he's gonna have a vendetta to get. And with the way Jalen Johnson is, like me, honestly, that's you all game. He on the field, you on the field. Like, you want to talk? You want to hang your hat on something? Like Thomas Brown said, he a problem. Everybody know he a problem. He got paid because he a problem. So you want to solve a problem, Jalen Johnson? You want Mark Rob to get up off you? I'm putting you on him every single play. Every single time. 18, I want 1 on 18 every single time. Every single time.
Okay. And okay, so this question can't come up a lot for the people who think that the Bears probably shouldn't have went with Rome at 9. J2K said, which left tackle would you have drafted at 9? Look, we talked about this all season, off season, Wes. You know, we exhausted this. We did a lot of draft prep, a lot of work on these prospects. It was fun doing it. But look, our guy wasn't there. The main guy I wanted wasn't there. Obviously, he went 5th. Joe Alt, you trade back. You absolutely trade back and later in the first round, get some more picks. So you're not drafting Torrey Taylor 4 and then having to trade back in. You trade back, you get a left tackle in there and make it do what it do. But in my opinion, you don't draft Rome at 9. I'm not mad at Rome. Like you said, look, we gonna thrive for the next 4+ years or whatever. But I just would have built it a different way. You know what I mean? Especially with Keenan Allen in the building. I feel like if Caleb is who we say he was, get him a good O-line and he'll turn a mediocre receiver into a good one, which most quarterbacks do. Look at Justin Herbert. Look at their record over there. Justin Herbert lost all of his receivers. Mike Williams, Gerald Everett, all his tight ends. Keenan Allen, he lost them all. And guess what? They're still pretty good. They're still pretty good because you got a good, decent O-line, a decent quarterback. Receivers are in the NFL for a reason. They're going to get open. You know what I mean? They're going to get open. Remember at the beginning of the season, DeAndre Carter was playing a lot. DeAndre Carter was playing a lot at wide receiver. He was catching some balls. You don't need 3 star-studded wide receivers because it's gonna be hard to get them all the ball. Simple. That's just the way I looked at it. Jared Goff don't got 3 star-studded wide receivers. He got Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, and then Jameson Williams. And they make it do what they do. Am I right? And then they run game. And guess what? They got a mammoth of an O-line to move mountains for Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to get that run game. We have no run game because of the O-line.
So they drafted their whole entire O-line in one season?
No, but they made moves and handle business. But guess
like
who?
3 years.
Their best one was drafted. Their best one. Darnell Wright ain't Penei Sewell. Like I said, he ain't. He just not.
And like I said, if Ryan Poles want to save his job, that first pick coming out better be a double wide, a tank. It bet like it had to, whether it's at center or left tackle, but it got to be on the offensive line, and it has to be an undeniable offensive lineman. The first pick, it got to be. Even if you get that and you're looking and you're going to trade and you got to trade up. He talking about Jordan Powell, whatever. Ain't that the dude who hiked the ball and cost them the game against the Chiefs? Okay. Howard Johnson or whatever.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, and that's my whole point. When you bring up Herbert and all of they not rookies. They had they blunder year, and it's like for me at the end of the day, Caleb's still a rookie. He's a really good player. And I think in hindsight,
he needs protection.
But who? I mean,
I bet there's a Rome in the draft this year. It's gonna be a Rome next year, and the year after that, there's gonna be Romes. What do you mean who? There's always receivers. First of all, receivers grown trees. Wide receivers grown trees. You can get those dudes. Like what's his name? Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas. He's one of the best rookie wide receivers. He's better. He's playing way better. Now he ain't got the competition that Rome got, but he's playing better than Rome. He's having a phenomenal rookie season, Brian Thomas. He got drafted in the 20s?
Yeah. He was a part of my trade down debate. Remember, I brought him up.
So wait, so do you feel Rome is irreplaceable? Like we couldn't find another Rome?
Is Rome irreplaceable?
You find another Rome.
I
He's a wide receiver. Wide receivers don't make themselves like. Come on now, if you got a good quarterback, I'm gonna get you the ball. All you gotta do is catch it. Like I don't like. Not only that, but the separation from these dudes ain't even been elite separation. Like his touchdown last week was a toe tap and he was smothered. And not getting open, everything is tough. You know what I mean? His speed ain't crazy where you just going. It ain't Jameson Williams' speed. Now Jameson Williams, that man to take the top off of defense for sure. He'll catch and run to the touchdown. We ain't had no catch and runs to the touchdown. These dudes catch the ball, they're going out of bounds, or they're getting tackled right away. There's no separation from none of Keenan, DJ, or Rome. There's no separation. Everything is a 50-50 tough catch every time. Am I wrong?
And my whole thing is, it's gotta, like, a lot of it, like I've seen a lot of tape, and it's just some of the play calling is just retarded. Some of the play, you got like a lot of those plays, like I would say majority of those routes especially under Shane Waldron, you got all three of them. And Rome on the other side by himself, which I'm not even gonna say them, but you got Cole Kmet, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore running the same route. Where it's three receivers and four defenders in that area on one side of the field. Like what type of scheme
like that? But what about the times when they're not, and we need a guy to get open? But DJ like, don't get open.
We seen him open though. We seen him wide open. We seen him. How many times? Caleb even brought it up. Like, oh yeah, I missed him. He was wide open. You even brought up, yeah, he was wide open that time. Caleb just missed him, or the offensive line didn't hold up and he got sacked, which contests to what you said about the offensive line, which I'm not knocking. But every wide receiver ain't wide open every single route.
The ones we play against. The Vikings game we talking about, Jordan Addison had 161 yards on us. 162. Like TJ Hawkinson had 114. But I've been crying about this.
But if you're watching it, it's like, why are we in and it's not even like a lot of the times they open this is just piss poor zone call, like bad play call. Like that's a mismatch play call. That's crazy. Like I just said it with the 49ers.
When are we going to hold these players accountable? That's all I'm
saying.
When are we going to? I can't tell you because you keep talking about the coach, the play calls. When these dudes, I don't give a fuck if you call the wrong play. I can still get open on it. It's a bad play overall, but my route is my route, and I'm going to run my route to my best ability. The play call has nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like I can still get open. Give me the ball, but they're not getting open. They're not getting open. Wes, you can't tell me.
I would
go ahead.
Like I would want, like I said, I would love to see them getting hit in stride. Don't get me wrong. But to say that they're not getting open, that he's going through it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's damn he was, damn I did, damn I was, and it's not like I do expect more. If anything, I would be pissed at them for not catching it when they were supposed to catch it. When they had the ball in their hands, when that ball is hitting them in the chest and they just not bringing it
right
in.
But when they get hit in the chest, this a dude bearing down about to smack them as soon as they catch it.
You're a football player,
but they're not. That's what I'm saying. Like I want Caleb to have some throws where a dude is wide open. Like why everything got to be tough? Everything has to be thread the needle. Why?
It's not. But I mean, I see, like I said, I see the tape and I see some of them open, and it's like, fuck. And I see the tape where it's just like he putting it over people, he's threading the needle. He like I said, Caleb picking his windows where he want to throw the ball. Yes, they could get more separation. Yes, I would love it to be easier. but that the defense get paid a lot of money too to make that
Ours
not
do
so.
too. Ours do
Ours
too,
do
and
too.
it ain't they not making
And
it
it's
not so
crazy.
because
It's-
Sam Darnold walked us down the field in overtime, wide open. I mean, like wide open. We're not.
It-
We're not getting those. That Christian. Okay, let's go back to the Packer game. Christian Watson fucked us up in the fourth quarter. Why are we not getting those? It's Christian Watson. Who the fuck is Chris? Like, let's be real here. We just
It's
paid
the-
DJ Moore $100 million. Christian Watson wasn't a number 9 pick.
And every single one of his catches was on zone. None of his catches was man to man. I watched them.
We don't
coming
play
across
man. First of
zone.
all, not too many. You're not just playing man. There's a certain
Nah,
handful
I'm
of
not-
teams that man up. You mix it up, but especially not us.
You
We're a
mix it
cover 2,
up.
temper 2 defense. We're not playing man too much. And when we do, we get burnt. Tyreek Stevens is getting dogged. Look, I don't know. At some point, though, the Bears fans, you, Wes, and these Bears fans have to look at these players and realize that they're just not doing it. They are just not
No.
getting it done. I don't
am
care
not
what the
saying
coach.
that. I literally just put the whole defense on blast last week. Like I have no
I'm
idea.
talking
who
about
they
but
is. It's like-
the
in the same-
receivers.
And the same with
Rome.
the receivers. All the same thing. Like, come on, dude. Like you're not gonna be a threat. They don't even. You're not a threat. Yeah, but and my whole thing is like they got it wide open. If you're getting wide open, then that's just a breakdown. That's got to be a breakdown. You got to run your routes. You got to do it. Like there's a couple routes we could talk about that route. Keenan Allen ran for that touchdown when he just I don't know who was sticking him, but he gave him a Kareem. You
Went
know,
out,
the
did a
dream shake.
circle and went
Did
in.
the shake,
Yeah.
did that shake and
Wide
got
open.
for the touchdown. Like I want more of those. We need more.
The
of those,
last time
for
we seen it
sure.
was like week 3 or week 4.
We need more of those, but it's because it's not a talent thing. I don't think they can't get open. It's like that's what I'm saying. Like I can't say. It's like it just baffles me because I've seen you do it. I keep saying it. Like I've seen Rome. I've seen you get wide open. I've seen DJ. I've seen y'all get wide open. I've seen y'all run that right route, and then it's like the next time y'all just don't, or y'all giving up, or y'all jogging. You know.
So and hold on, get J2K, get on his ass. Get him J2K, even though I'm disagreeing with some of the stuff you're saying. So how do I want to put this? Because go ahead.
Like my overall thing is I said it's everybody. Remember, I said everybody. It's everybody's fault.
Nah.
Everybody
But
get me back.
we talk about
Everybody
these
gotta
receivers
get
right
back,
now.
dude. The
We talking about the
receivers,
receivers
yes,
right now.
all of them.
We get on the
all
O
of 'em.
line, but the receivers ain't doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you agree? Like, because we all said it, including me. Me, the media. This was the best situation for a rookie quarterback to come into. Does that still stand?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it still
completely
stands.
disagree.
I
I
think it
completely
stands
disagree.
to the testament of how Caleb should be, in my eyes, probably doing a lot worse with how we played and how we've been playing and what's been going on with this team. Remember that horrible math I put up and I said if at worst he'll probably have 1,500 to 2,000 passing yards for a season. Like that's how bad this team could be in a sense. And you're like, that's way, 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 way too low. Well, the way this offensive line is, all these sacks, like you said, receivers not getting over, run game is nowhere. The defense ain't carrying this team like everybody said they need to do starting week 1. All of those kind of things. I could see Caleb losing confidence and making more mistakes and getting too excited and trying to win games and do everything on his own from the diva he is with his nails painted in purses and all of that, and just making things worse than they already is. But Caleb has stood. He's still on track. He's made the best with probably the situation that has been getting worse. like I said early in the show, like I can't see Bo Nix on this Bears team quarterback, and that's all he is right now.
Absolutely not.
I can't. Jaden Daniels with 50 plus sacks, he would have been hobbling off the
Jaden
field.
Daniels will have 1,000 yards rushing by now.
You know what I mean? At 1,000-yard passing with 56, still probably 56 sacks. You know, so like I said, for Caleb, I think this is the best situation. Let's say it this way: it's the best situation the Bears could be in to have Caleb Williams instead of another rookie quarterback. JJ McCarthy would have already tore his ACL probably week 1. He would have probably been out after 5 sacks because he did it. He didn't even play. Like I said, I can't see Bo Nix getting rattled like he getting rattled. I see him out there rolling out and launching the ball down the field.
Bo Nix is having a pretty good year.
He's having a pretty good year.
Shockingly good year. Mm-hmm.
But like I just said, I just gave you all of these stats. Because Chris Foster want to talk about stats don't lie. Everybody, mom think they kid's a superstar. Well, let me tell you about my son then. Versus your son and anybody else wanted to put on this team. I said Caleb Williams had 2,000. Hold on, they got to load. I got one too many windows open at this point. But
well, and look, all I'm saying
he's
is
on par with them.
You say what, Wes? Go ahead, you cut out.
Oh no, I didn't say that. I was listening to you. Said you saying was what?
Oh yeah, all I'm saying is very underwhelming. DJ Moore, Keenan, Rome. We put $100 million in that room, Wes, and we didn't need to put $100 million in that room. We should have put $100 million on that O-line. We should have. You don't need that's too much. Absolutely. Because if that was very as important as they made it seem, Keenan would be a for sure candidate to be re-signed. He'd be here. Like you wouldn't even be questioning it. But guess what? He probably won't be here next year. Keenan probably won't. It was unnecessary. All of those dudes was unnecessary. Then you add in Cole Kmet, and then people wonder why Cole Kmet ain't getting the ball. Fucking 80. There's 80 dudes in there getting paid $30 million apiece. Like what y'all expect, Thomas? Somebody's gonna get forgotten about. Someone will.
Yeah. And my whole thing to the Keenan, if they would have known that they would have got Rome at 9, I don't think they would have signed Keenan Allen. I think they would have went out and got something else. I think Keenan Allen was I think they was expecting to have a Joe Alt or somebody at 9. Or what's the other guy? I think he went to the Titan. JC Latham. I think they was expecting one of them to drop. Nobody was expecting Atlanta to take a QB.
Yeah, that's true. Nobody,
like that. I think I think the excitement of it kind of got to them, and they was like, "Fuck, this is what I wanted anyway." I thought I wanted JC, I wanted Joe Alt, I wanted one of those guys. But how else? And I think in their mindset it was, how else can we help them? We'll just put, like you just said, you want to take a top 10 pick and get another Darnell Wright at 9. You're gonna get Darnell Wright again?
I would take another Darnell Wright over Rome. I would, honestly. I would. That's just me. I would just because I don't give a fuck. I don't care who's at wide receiver. You get your dog, you get your number 1, and then everybody else you fill in the blanks. Just look around your league. Like, look at the Packers. They got all those randos.
But you just said we don't got it. We said DJ not the number 1. So if DJ not number 1, even though he gave him $100 million, you said
right. I'm saying you get your number 1. I'm not necessarily saying DJ, but if you're gonna talk about DJ, if DJ is going to be your number 1, that's fine. Get some other randos. Like I said, look at the Packers wide receiver room. Then look at the Vikings. Now they got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, but guess what? They don't got a Roma Dunze behind Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, because they still got TJ Hawkinson.
And I think they see it as Rome is who they want to be the number one. That's what they want. That's like you said. I'm with you that I don't think Keenan Allen gonna be here next season. I don't think. I think DJ signing him to that is like, let's get him for cheap, because the market for everybody is just going up. They ain't been reset yet, inflation or whatever.
I don't mind DJ. I don't mind DJ. He just act like a diva now. We gave him all that praise. Remember that to go DJ. That's my D. We gave him all that praise right when he got signed. He gonna act like a punk. He's acting like a punk. He ain't playing. He's not going to the Pro Bowl. Yeah, these dudes, they like, come on now, like none of them, like you get what I'm saying though. Somebody has to live up to the hype that was brought in the offseason. None of them are. Not one. We got three stud receivers and a stud tight end. So that's 4 pass catchers, and none of them lived up. Like none of them has been like, okay, yeah, we ain't as good as we thought, but 1 out of 4 is doing phenomenal. You know, that's not what we're saying.
And I think that goes to the whole statement of 1 week you can see it.
I ain't see it. No.
And then the transition.
Not 1 week. Even when he threw 4 touchdowns, it didn't look elite. It didn't look like, we have never showed a replay of one of our wide receivers like, wow, he had that cornerback turned around, or he thought he was. None of that. It's a good catch. You caught a contested ball because the ball hit your hands and you better fucking catch it. But we have not shown a replay like, oh my, look at the route running on him. Oh, look how he blew by him and Caleb put it over. None of that. There's none of that. Just none of it. What's the best thing you've seen from our wide receiver group this year? Or just name a bunch. Like what has been good? I haven't seen anything I can say that's good. Because everything I've seen from them, you can take. First of all, DJ Moore is getting paid $100 million. You could take. Tyler Scott could do what DJ's done.
Tyler Scott ain't played in the regular season, I don't think.
Exactly. That's my point. And he can step in and do what DJ's doing.
I don't think he can, or he'll be playing. We would have had Carter playing.
Well, no. They're not gonna bench $100 million receiver.
I'm talking about when Keenan was out.
Yeah, and DeAndre Carter stepped in.
That's what I'm saying. You bring up Tyler Scott, like why he didn't
right because DeAndre Carter stepped in. We talked about this. DeAndre Carter stepped in that week, those 2 weeks, because he has special teams value as well. Tyler Scott don't have that. You can only suit so many guys, so you're gonna suit the guys that can do more than one thing. Tyler Scott was only gonna play wide receiver. We had DeAndre Carter. He's a wide receiver too, right? So we have to keep him in. We're gonna elevate him and let him keep, because Tyler Scott wasn't gonna do nothing but catch passes for us.
That's what Keenan does, though. Keenan doesn't play special teams.
Right. And you know what? Keenan has that. They need $24 million owed to him. They're not gonna bench that. Are you crazy?
I'm not saying.
You know how bad you look. You bench a $24 million player. It's crazy.
I'm not saying benching him. I'm just saying. You saying the reason Carter was in that so they could save a spot for somebody else to suit up.
Yeah, special teams matters.
Yeah, I know. But Carter's suiting up with Keenan. Why can't Carter suit up with Tyler Scott at the same time?
So
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't see the difference in if Tyler Scott can do what Keenan Allen does.
No, I said DJ Moore. I'm not even talking about Keenan. I'm talking about DJ Moore. What he's giving us. Tyler Scott can definitely do that. He can definitely do that. You're not. I swear. You really seen DJ Moore stand out, like do some shit like, oh my gosh, that's why we paid him $100 million. He catches bubble screens and catch the ball and puts his hand on the lineman back and just shifts in and out. That's what he does. That's what DJ's been doing for us. That's $100 million worth.
I think he got the $100 million worth was from his season with Justin. I'm thinking
Right, but you pay players for what they can do for you in the season, not for what they've done. Because all I know, could have been your best season, and you're now you about to retire or you on the back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pay you because I see you doing this for us in the next 4 years.
That's what I just said. I think they thought that he was gonna do what he did when Justin was basically throwing him the ball every chance he could throw the ball. He was the only person he was really. It was like, oh man, if he get volume catches, like we can pay him this much money. He had probably his best season of his career with
it was
right, and they was like, hey, look, we think you can do that with Caleb because we think Caleb is more talented than Justin Fields. He just not doing it. Are you asking me is he's worth the $100 million right now this season? No. Do you want to ask why I think they gave him $100 million? I think that's why they gave him $100 million because of the best season he had under Justin Fields. And they thought that that's what they was going to get this time over.
Right, but they brought in 50 other receivers. That's my point. Like, why you crowd the room so much if you had your guy? That's what I'm trying to like. They crowded the room and didn't protect the kid. That's what I'm saying. They crowded the room with these shiny toys and didn't build a foundation. They didn't. That's what I'm saying. Like we didn't need Rome and Keenan and DJ. No other team in this division has Rome, Keenan, and DJ. You name a team in this conference that has a Rome, Keenan, and DJ. But guess what? Rome, Keenan, and DJ ain't doing shit.
The offense ain't doing shit. I mean, the run game ain't shit.
You know why? Because the offensive line blocks for
him. Yeah.
So I'm not the offensive line don't just affect Caleb. I think that's another thing people fail to realize. Yeah. It affects your running back too that you brought in for $24 million over 3 years and didn't get nobody to block for him.
Mm-hmm. And for me, it's like
very backwards and odd for me all around the board.
And for me, it's like a lot of those Jordan Power, Jackson, all those other rookie offensive linemen I see outside of Joe Alt and JC Latham.
They're better.
They're fine.
We have trash. We have Ryan. We have what is his name? What is the right guard name? Bill Murray played. He played a lot for us too. But what is his name? What is his name?
Ooh, Matt Pryor or
Matt Pryor?
Matt Pryor.
Like he wasn't even scheduled to start for us. And you talk about Jackson Powers Johnson is just fine. I guarantee you he's better than Matt Pryor and Coleman Shelton and arthritis shoulder and whoever else is on that O-line. Tevin always hurt Jenkins. Like, what are we talking about? We have dudes on this O-line starting that would be third stringers on other teams. Simple. Braxton might be a backup. Braxton will be a backup. But we put $100 million in our wide receiver room. That's fine. We don't got to keep going on this topic because I mean it is what it is.
I'm just reading a comment.
Yeah, I've been trying, but J2K been on Chris ass this entire time.
Because
they've been going back and forth. But
hey, people say stuff like sign Trey Smith, and this my whole thing is you could have
signed Nate Davis.
Yeah,
you signed Nate Davis.
Why? And that's my whole thing. It's like I can understand why you drafted, but like why you didn't go and spend the money? Why you didn't go match the contracts? Like why you didn't go?
You couldn't match. No, ain't no matching. You gotta overpay.
That's what I'm saying. Like
people to come into Chicago
to go get a left tackle, go spend it. Like it's like you willing to blow a bag on another, like you said, on a Keenan who probably like you said, probably ain't gonna be here next season.
And I'm not even mad at Keenan because you traded a fourth for him. I would do that any day. I ain't gonna lie. I would do that any day for a $20 million rental. I do it any day. My real issue is with the Rome pick. I don't understand how you have DJ, you trade for Keenan, and then you triple down and go with Rome.
I think it's like I said, I didn't see. I mean, trading and like you said, trading back and just trade back for who? Like
What do you mean for
that's
who? There's plenty of
as
O-line
far as
that went after 9. Plenty of them that went after 9.
I'll wait for somebody to tell me who they are. I mean, I know who they are because I looked it up.
Okay, I don't know when he got drafted, but Ladd McConkey. He's a rookie, right? That's a rookie, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
815 yards and 4 touchdowns. He'll be well over 1,000 to finish the season. Yeah, he's killing.
Who Ladd McConkey play for again?
The Chargers. He'll. I guarantee.
You see what I mean?
Not one of our. No, I don't see what you mean. What do you mean? What does that mean?
Because my whole thing is this: if DJ can't run, because my whole thing is DJ can't run routes to get separation. All he does is catch bubble screens and all that. And we don't have an actual wide receiver. He's basically a running back. I saw that in the comments.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Are you just saying back to me what I said, or are you talking about what you see on the field?
No, I'm saying back to what you said. Somebody else put it in the comments. Something about DJ Moore just turned into a running back. No, I
hold on. Are you seeing that on the field?
Yeah, I see him catching the ball off the field too.
No, come on now. We watching the same games. He ain't catching balls just out in the open field, just snagging shit. That's not what he's doing. Really? You see DJ Moore catching 20-yard passes often? Wow. Okay.
I don't see DJ up the field 20 yards out.
And when he does, you know what he does? He leans his shoulders into dudes. That's how he runs his routes. There's no twitchiness. He like runs in. Yeah, he's a pit bull at the wide receiver spot. I watch him, man. I see what he does.
What's his name? Debo? Ain't that?
Yes, he's a smaller Debo. He's a smaller Debo. But the Ladd McConkey, you just see, I said to show the stats. He was what pick was he? I should have looked at what round he went in, because I'd love to have Ladd over here. Over and trade back, and then over Rome. You trade back.
He will have the same numbers Rome had, but yeah, you trade back.
The same numbers Rome had, and Rome was a 9th pick.
And my point is, if you're trading back, what offensive lineman are you picking up? Who are you going to get?
You want me to look at offensive linemen that went after 9? There was plenty that went after 9.
I know it was 13.
You take your pick. You take your choice.
13. And I see what they're doing, and like I said, we could have.
We should have, is what I'm saying. Because the wide receivers aren't helping your quarterback out there. They're dropping passes. We didn't even talk about the drop passes from these dudes. Look, there's my pick. Look, Ladd's there. You could go back and look at all the other wide receivers that went after Rome. We didn't need to go with Rome. I stand pat on that. This season, we spend all this. This is what pisses me off, Wes. This is what really pisses me off. We spent all of this time in the offseason breaking this shit down, talking about this shit hours and hours and hours. And the answers were right there for the people who knew. Right there. And you think the dudes that's getting paid $4 or $5 million a year could see it. I understand fans, who don't spend all this time researching into whatever, they gonna miss it. But you shouldn't miss it, because now we're 4-9, and we ain't gonna see competitive football for another fucking 7 months, 8 months.
Like I said, I don't know why they just didn't go what I thought.
No. And then there's people like there's a lot of people like you who are defending what happened. And we're 4-9. How can you defend this?
I'm not defending any. What I'm debating is the fact is that's sorry. If this is what they was going to do, then yes. What I expected them to do was go out there and draft Rome. Go out there, find those veteran offensive linemen who need some money. Go pay for them, and they did.
Coleman, they did with Coleman. They fucking they
They
traded
traded
Ryan Bates.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, cool. Now I see what you, because remember when they was doing it, I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting those guys that they was trading for. I'm like, okay, they're building up on offline because they're finna go get and spend and go buy a center, like a big time center. Like when the Niners was not finna pay what's his name? They great all-time left tackle,
Trent.
whatever. And then I think it was
Trent
like
Williams.
4 or 5 veteran offensive linemen who was having some issues with their team about whether they was going to sign with them or whether they was going to get paid. I would have been all up in their DMs, all up in they, hey, how much would it cost? What do you need? What do you want?
Wes, you're funny. You're funny. So you weren't okay with Coleman and Ryan Bates?
I was okay with it as okay. They're building up the offensive line. They're finna get more. I'm thinking of more, but okay, that's good because I even looked up a bunch of them that I didn't get a chance to say it in the podcast. Is in my off-season binder over there, my spiral with off-season, all in there. It was a bunch of players. I'm like, this guy's looking for a job, this left tackle, this guard, he's good. He's, like this somebody we could get. This is somebody we can go pay for, get some money, pay for, see if we could trade some picks and get them in. 1 or 2 of those guys on top of it. Just in case if we did go get somebody and they did get injured, then we will be having, them step up. But like you said about Shane Warner, to lateral move, that's as far as talent wise like you could have went and paid for it if you weren't going to draft it. That's all I was thinking in the offseason. And they still didn't, and they let it keep going by, and they let
I'm looking at these RI receiver numbers, and they're not horrible. You know what I mean? Given all the mouths that need to be fed. I guess I'm going so hard because of the situation that we're in. And it's if people don't realize it after this season, the reason that we're in this situation, then I don't know. Like there's people who I don't think this team deserves Caleb. They don't deserve Caleb. We do not deserve Caleb. We don't, Wes. We don't. We absolutely don't. The fans can't see it. They still want Justin. They still want all this dumb shit to be going on. We can't see it. And look, the man didn't want to be here. He probably shouldn't have came. Like fuck Bears fans. If I was him, I would create a burner account so fucking fast, and I would dog Bears fans. I'm not even gonna lie, because they're ungrateful and idiots. For a team and a fan base who suffered through so much mediocre play, to think that what greatness looks like.
Look, like I said, you heard me talk about Caleb the last 4-5 weeks, and I said it probably a month and a half ago. I said
because he's undeniable. That's why you say.
I seen him. I seen him in it, and that's it. Like I said, you want to talk about that Pat Mahomes type comparison? It is valid because look at what he's still doing after being in the league, learning and being in a bad situation and being down bad and all this other kind of stuff. And he's still, like I said, I don't think any other rookie quarterbacks can do this. Like I don't think Sam Darnold on the Raiders is doing what Sam Darnold is doing in Minnesota because he in the system that he's in.
Oh my gosh!
You think Brock Purdy is doing this with the Giants?
Oh my goodness!
You see what I'm saying? Like you could compare like Joe Burrows and the Josh Allens and the Herberts, like you brought up. We could go get Jalen Hurts and all these other people, but look at the time they've been in the league. They got the systems that they in. They learned. Josh Allen learned that, hey, look, all my receivers gone. I'm a sling and I'm a run. I think the last game I seen him, he threw for like 3 touchdowns and ran 2. He said, you know what? I'm going to get touchdowns no matter what. Because he learned it. He's been there. And we keep trying to, and that's what I think Bears fans is doing. There's Caleb sucks. Caleb this. Caleb is a rookie, just like the rest of these other rookies. He's still a rookie. You want to compare him to Justin Fields, and that was his third season. Absolutely. And it took him to look like that.
What did he look like?
Maybe could.
Yes. That was good.
And I'm saying that, and I'm taking that with Caleb, and I'm saying Caleb already is a man. Woo. In a bad situation. So, like I said, hey, look, this is Ryan. Look, like I said, whoever come in, like you said, Ryan Poles, whoever come in, they better.
So answer this question for me then, Wes. Would you extend Ryan Poles? No, hold on. Let me add more context. Let me add more context before you go. Would you extend Ryan Poles knowing that there's a lot of coaches out there, Ben Johnson being one of them, who a lot of people think is the front runner now, knowing that they want to be aligned with their GM, and having a lame duck GM is going to deter a lot of coaches out there? Would you extend Ryan Poles? Based on we just spent 2 hours
so we was
doing his best and his worst moves.
If that was like, okay, so knowing what Ben Johnson was, I probably wouldn't. I probably let him go and let a new GM come in, somebody that if we getting Ben Johnson, and like I said before, it kind of goes back to my conversation on the whole Flus thing. Like, if I know I'm getting Harbaugh, I'm firing Flus immediately. If I know for a fact, if he already send me the contract, I'm gonna sign as soon as you fire him.
Right.
You can announce me the very next morning, and I'll be in Chicago ready with my Bears gear on. I'm buying stuff at the pro shop right now. If I knew that's what it was, then yeah. But would I fire Ryan Poles and then go start looking for a head? No, I need guarantee from a top tier head coach that if I'm gonna fire Ryan Poles, it has to be because I'm getting like a top tier offensive head coach who has a plan, who knows what we're finna like. It got to be somebody up there. It has to be. I'm first or second one on my list, even a second one. If it's my second head coach, that's like, yeah, I'm guaranteed. I'm not firing Ryan Poles for the second person that I wanted. If it's Ben Johnson as the front runner and that's the person and that's what it takes to get him to Chicago, then I probably would. But if we gonna go down to Shanahan, or if he's the second, or I don't care if Sean McVay,
I'm scared of Ben Johnson. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared. I'm scared of Ben Johnson. I'm scared of him. Remember, so this was the take. This is my take. Hold on, let me see. J2K said, Mark, if the head coach position is more attractive with or without Poles, I let the new head coach make that call. Whoo. See, and that's getting into the weeds that we're already in, J2K, where you're hiring the head coach before his boss. You know, stuff like that, which we just talked about earlier in the show, where there's like this power struggle, where there's been reports of Ryan Poles not wanting to report to Kevin Warren because he wanted, but Kevin Warren, his boss, got hired after him. You know what I mean? That's what when I look at this comment, Wes, that's what immediately comes to mind, where you're hiring a head coach and letting him make the calls about his boss or stuff like that.
Right.
He also said, who's your tandem at head coach? OC, DC. I like Flores, McCown, Ben. Okay, so this is perfect because it brings me to the point that I was making before, where I told you, look, Wes, when I told you he's going to be shocked, you might be shocked. I don't know, you might not. By my head coach take, I look, this is my take. I don't care. I really don't care. Everybody gonna have all of this. Get him. You should get him. You should do this. You should do. I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. I don't know these dudes. I don't. For me to actually say this is my top three, me being who I am, I don't even have close to the knowledge that I need to make that decision. My focus was on Thomas Brown because he's in the building at this moment going forward. He's in the building. But if you're moving on from Thomas Brown and we're talking about the field, I don't care who you bring in. I don't know. How can I know? I don't know. And I really don't care because guess what? Just like with Shane Waldron, they're going to hire this dude. We're going to go look at his background. We're going to talk about this. Like, oh, he worked with him. He worked under him. He this and that and the third. Just like with Flus. We did it with Flus. What the fuck does any of that mean? Until week 1 comes, week 2, week 3, we probably won't even know if he's the guy until week 10 of next season. I don't care who you bring in. That's y'all job. Bring him in, and I'm going to see what he do. That's when I'm going to evaluate. Other than that, I can't sit up here and tell you who I want. I'm afraid of Ben Johnson. There's shit with Ben Johnson. He hasn't been a head coach before. You know what I mean? Same shit with Nagy. We went through that. Now, if you want to talk about bringing in Mike Vrabel, one of these defensive guys, guess what? He was fired before. We have a rookie quarterback that we want to marry with an offensive head coach. He ain't it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of this stuff that's going on. People gonna have their picks, and I must keep this stance all until off season, until we hire a new coach, which will probably be pretty soon in January. I don't care. Pick the guy, you pick him, and we gonna go from there. Like there's, you know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, no. I hear you. That's why everybody said Ben Johnson. All of that. That's why I said the best thing that I could think of is, like I said, if I had to say somebody, that's why I said Kyle Shanahan. I'm like, he's already been a head coach. I know what he is as a head coach. We've seen his offense, and that's would be my best because, like you said, a lot of these guys as offensive coordinators, we never seen them as head coaches. We don't know what their culture is going to be. What I do know is I like how Kyle Shanahan offense looks. I like how his play calling is. I think it's dynamic, it's creative. He's been a head coach. That's pretty much all I got really to go off of.
I don't care. I don't care who y'all hire.
They can bring in Saleh's defensive coordinator. I would love for him to come in.
Exactly. Do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do it. Whatever you do, stand on it and make it count and give us fucking wins. I don't got a preference on who I want to lead this team. Like to have a preference doing what we do. You know, like we're not executives. We've never been in front offices and we got this list of people we know around the league. To have a preference, to me, is crazy because you're going to talk about Ben Johnson because everybody else is talking about Ben Johnson.
Exactly.
But really, we have never heard him. We don't really probably now people has gone back to listen to his press conferences, but at the time we've never heard him speak.
26 months ago, we didn't know who he was.
Exactly. And
that's what I'm saying. Like my preference would be somebody who's already been a head coach, who's an offensive minded head coach, who hasn't been fired from the job that they're now. Like I don't want to get the guy that got fired, and the list is real small.
Exactly.
Or like I said in the group chat, or go poach somebody. I don't know if
and you see how that went.
And you
see how that went.
But
y'all
I'm
pissed
scared
that man off, West. Y'all pissed him off because they asked him about that in the press conference, and y'all pissed him off, and he beat our ass. The audacity. That's what he said. The audacity.
I think, like I said, he did, and he went out. He whooped us, and like everybody's like, "Oh well, we made him mad because he don't." To me, it's a audition. It's an audition. It's just like when you go out scouting a kid, you go look and see what they do. It was good to see him up close. It was really good to see him up close. It was like I said.
So you think they should have talked to Bill?
Belichick?
Mm-hmm.
Hell no.
I mean, just to see up close, just to see him up close, just to talk to him. He's been successful. Shit, maybe you learned some stuff from him.
And I think the thing about Bill is, like what everybody is saying, is Bill kind of already set this precedent about himself of what he want and how he's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not.
He had the
Everybody
Bible.
this.
He gave North Carolina that Bible.
Like
you got the Bible.
Yeah, he'll be good. He'll probably be good for their football program for the kids. Like a lot of people say, hey, you got to come to this fundraiser. Now everybody gonna be here. We need to raise money for the sporting department. Like, I don't give a fuck about the sporting department. I care about football. I don't care if the volleyball team get money. What do I care about the volleyball team? Lacrosse, what is that? That's the one with the stick or the net? I don't know. That's Bill. Did you want to bring that kind of person to Caleb? Like, I don't know. I don't think that would have been a good fit. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm like I said, I'm thinking about Caleb, somebody who's going to be Caleb eccentric. Like, hey, look, I come in first day. Hey, look, y'all sucked last season. Offensively, y'all sucked. But let y'all know, if your name not Caleb Williams, you're not safe. Look how much money we paying you. Not in my system, not in my scheme. Because that's how we're going to win games. It starts right there. That's what we need. We need somebody to come in and kind of put their foot down. Because it's too much tiptoeing around this team.
Yes. Oh, my God. Yes. A lot of weird.
It
just pissed me off this year, Wes. Me off.
And and like I said, it is crazy because y'all didn't do it last year. Y'all didn't do it under Nagy. Y'all didn't do it under Fox. Y'all didn't do it this Bears team. Like, as bad as we've been and all this other kind of stuff, I ain't never seen us this just out there, exposed, open, just wilding. Like, I seen us lose, but just all this other stuff is just crazy.
So this is a good question from J2K. This is another good question. He had a few good questions. He said, Mark, what's your concern level with shifting to a 3-4? I have zero concern. I mean, look, you get a coach in here and that's what they want to do. You hire and you knew that's what he wanted to run. It's fine. Like, I mean, the 4-3 ain't really helping us too much. It's fine. It hasn't been a disaster, the 4-3, but people got to remember under Vic Fangio, we ran the 3-4 and we were an elite defense. We don't have a 3 technique. We don't have a 3 technique for this 4-3. So it might even be best. I was one of the dudes when this first happened. We switched to the 4-3 and Matt Eberflus came in. I'm like, I love the 4-3. I love this. You know, I'm playing franchise mode in Madden. I'm only doing 4-3. I'm getting 4-3 players. And no way I wasn't running 4-3, but I don't really care. I don't really care. You need a 3 technique for this, for 4-3. You know what I mean? Dexter might be a better 3-4 defensive tackle, or maybe a right end in the defense in the 3-4 scheme. Yeah, I don't care too much about the scheme. We were elite with Khalil Mack and with Akeem Hicks in the middle and running that 3-4. So I've seen it. It works. 2 middle linebackers. So I mean, I'm not mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it at all. It's not like we got guys here where you're just like, you absolutely don't want to mix this shit up, because if you switch to a 3-4, you got to move dudes out because they just don't fit a 3-4 scheme. Yeah, I'm not one of those dudes, so I don't care. Wes, what you thinking? 3-4, 4-3? Do you care at all?
No, I don't care. I think we were better on the 3-4, but given like I said last week about that linebacker play, like, you know, that was what the Brian Urlachers and you know, the Khalil Macks. Like, when you got
who was next to Roquan? Who was our other linebacker when Khalil Mack and those dudes were here? It was in chat. If you remember, put it in the chat. It was because, you know, you had our outside linebackers, Khalil Mack and those dudes, but there's 2 middle linebackers, and it was Roquan and who was next to him?
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, it was a couple, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I remember that Nick Kwiatkowski dude. Remember Nick Kwiatkowski? But I think he
Yeah.
was like a backup. Who was it? I can't remember who it was, and that'd be interesting to know who was next to him. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So you don't care. I don't care about the defensive scheme, especially since Matt Eberflus is gone. Like, I don't. Yeah, it is what it is on the defensive side of the ball. Trevathan, was it? So it was
Danny
him,
Trevathan, yep.
but he left at some point. He left, and he had to be replaced because I don't think Trevathan and Roquan play together? Maybe 1 year. It might have been 1 year. It might have been 1 year. For sure, it might have been 1 year for those dudes. That's crazy. I was a linebacker. I should know who these dudes were playing.
I know Danny Trevathan was. I think Danny Trevathan was there with Roquan. At least it's probably his rookie year.
Yeah, I know they had to get together at least 1 year or two because Roquan was here for at least 4. Roquan was.
I think Danny Trevathan was definitely one of the main ones that was up there.
Okay.
I'm trying to see. How can I find it? But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the scheme they need to do something anyway.
Let's come in and stop teams like we used to, like we do. Like I hate to even hear to say like we used to, because that just sounds weird to say what the Bears defense used to.
Yeah, it's weird because I love Lance Briggs and those OGs from that era. But dude, don't act like y'all not a reason that we have suffered too. Y'all broke our heart many a times too, facing Aaron Rodgers and those dudes back in the day. They be talking about the team today like they just was dominant back in the day. Hell no. Yeah, come on now. We had 4th and 8 touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers and all this crazy shit going on. Y'all broke our heart a lot too. A lot.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, let me see.
It was not clean like they try to speak on it. You know what I mean? And no, like I said, no disrespect to them because I got 55 and 54 up here. I love. Yes, there it is.
Algaji.
Yes.
Algaji. Robert Quinn was a outside linebacker.
Yes, Ogletree. Yes, that's who it was. And I remember they made him a captain, right? Yep, man. Now you made him a captain because he was facing his old team. Yeah, okay. Yeah, appreciate that.
I just pulled it up. I had the whole defense. Yeah, because it was Ogletree, Smith, Robert Quinn, Bilal Nichols, Eddie Goldman, Blackson was on that, Khalil Mack, Jalen Johnson, Vildor, Tyshawn Gibson, and Eddie Jackson. That was that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Them boys.
Mm-hmm. And Jalen Johnson was a youngin. I remember when he came in, he was with Prince Amukamara was on the other side of him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Wes. Oh my goodness. This team is so stressful and it sucks. Bears fans, I know.
I don't know. I think I'm just confused because it's just unexpected. It's not like what I thought I'd be talking about right now.
Hell, oh my God.
Like some of the stuff is not what I thought I would talk about. Eberflus being fired midway, Shane being let go, the defense is trash. Like I thought we would have spent most of the time talking about Caleb Williams' play, the wide receiver room. I can get the offensive line. I can understand, and just talking about the offense and watching them progress and what they're doing right and wrong. But sitting here to talk about players doing podcasts, coaches being fired, the defense is just allowing. Like y'all went from and the change of a season from fall to winter, y'all went from not allowing teams 20 points to everybody getting close to 30 now. Almost 40. And it's just like, and it's just, and it's not like you wrong when we saying the Hail Mary, because everybody's like, man, it ain't been the same since, because it hasn't been. But God, can one play really just do that?
sick. It's very sick. And like I said, that's why I say, I mean, coaching can't do shit. He can talk his just, until their ears fall off. They got to still go out there and play. Look, we running out of topics. We covered a lot today. Like I said in the beginning of the show, we talked about the best and worst moves and the Ryan Poles tenure. We discussed the Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles power struggle that they got going on. Then we jumped into Caleb Williams a little bit and what is like preparing for a team to play a team twice in 1 year for the first time in his career. Then we just freestyled a little bit, talked about some coaching stuff, and definitely will be talking about coaches heavily in the coming month. So look, appreciate everybody tuning into the channel. I'm your host, Mark Robb. My co-host, Chef West to the right of me. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. The Black Bear Podcast, one word, no spaces. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as well. We go live every weekend, Saturdays, for just recapping what happened, Bears news in the previous week, and then Sunday post game show after every game, which will be Monday this week. We'll be going on a weekday, so tune into that. Wes, any last words?
Go Bears.
Hey, I can't. I really thought after 38-13 loss, he was not gonna say that shit, and he shouldn't have. Like I said, it's weird though. And before you get that, because I've never been a player over the team guy. Caleb's making me a player over the team. Maybe it's the fans because they dog him so much, and I don't think we deserve him because, like, why are we talking about this kid like this? I don't think we deserve him. Would y'all be happy if we had some bum in here? Like, we need the bums. Bring the bums back. We love bums.
And really, the thing is, the only thing y'all dogging him about is something that he only have like part control over.
Want to give a score?
27-24, Bears win by 3.
Oh my gosh. I'm
going big. I didn't have a chance to go big like for 4 weeks, so we rematching. So I'm a go. We scored 27 before. Let's try to do it again. I'm holding them to that.
Oh, it sucks because they get you. This is how the Bears get you. When it's time to predict that score and put up and shut up, you can't deny. You don't want to go against the loyalty. I love it. We're loyal, but I'm not going to be loyal this week. 24-27 Bears for you. I'm going to go 13-24 Vikings. Yes, that's what I'm going. 13-24 Vikings. We haven't won on the road.
That's another reason. I hope the football gods give us one.
Long.
I don't think have we won on the road this season besides Tennessee?
No.
That was week 1.
No, and Tennessee was at home.
Was that a home game?
No Sunday road games. We don't win on road. It's a Monday night, so
It's a Monday night though.
Said it sucks rooting for a team. Sucks rooting for them to lose, but want 4-13 now. I ain't rooting for us to lose. I don't care about.
Take that to Vegas. Take that to Vegas, Chris. You know I think that's like a plus 1,000 or plus 2,000 that the Bears lose out in Vegas.
There you go. There you go. Make you some money off this losing ass team. I can't pick us, West. I just can't.
I didn't want to. I don't want to be honest. But if this got to be the game, because if this game is like anything like the last game, then I gotta.
Do you think we win another game this year? I mean, well, you picked us to win this one, so I gotta ask that question after this one. Whether we win or lose. So.
Oh, I can say it right now. If we lose this game, like you predicting, we lose. I think we're gonna lose out.
Lose to Seattle, lose to Detroit, lose to Green Bay. Okay, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. Look, enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday nights. We gonna sign off here on the Black Bear Podcast. One word, No spaces. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm your host, Mark Rao, with my co-host, Chef Wes. We gonna see y'all on Monday. I hope a lot of y'all is here to chop it up with us again on Monday after the game, and bring some of those, especially you, Chris. Bring that energy on Monday. Let's see when Caleb throws for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns and whatever else. I'm kind of contradicting myself, but look, hey, go Caleb. Yeah. Have a good night. We gone. Peace.